Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello. How's everyone doing today? Woo, it is. There we go. Now we have the light. How's everyone doing today? It is a beautiful Saturday night. It is snowing out. I am very tired. It's been a long day. But we are here. We are here. We're having a good time. We're today it's just gonna be a pretty chill stream. Nothing too crazy tonight. Not doing anything crazy. Work on a few little things here and there. Just putz about, kill a few hours, yap some, have some fun times, and then punch out, head to bed. Sound good? Sound good. It's so cute. What's so cute? The printer or me? It's me, right? Or it's the printer. It's probably the printer. Let's put the crappy cube over there. Where'd I put the crappy cube? I got to keep this box of Lego or Eggo box of all the bad prints so that I can use it for the video. We're doing a little troubleshooting today. See that? Look at that. Look at that print quality. But it doesn't show up when you print CF. I'm doing a little, we're trying to figure out, it's the first time I'm actually printing like large stuff in not carbon fiber filled filament on the Venture XL. And the print quality is kind of sussy. It's a bit sussy. So I'm trying something different and it didn't really change anything. So I'm not sure where to go, but in the meantime, I got it back printing carbon fiber filled stuff because YOLO. Downtime, we don't want downtime around here. We want our printers up and functional. Oh, you're wondering how the gargoyle turned out from yesterday? Let me give it a little quick cleanup. Here's our little gargoyle from yesterday. Look at him. We printed him upside down, so you can't complain about the overhangs. Don't have to worry about overhangs when you print upside down. The only problem is you got to hope the model doesn't have overhangs in the other direction now. Okay, so we need to get this off of these 1, 2, 3 blocks so I can flip the printer the right way over. Because today we're going to do a couple things. We are going to do a little bit of tuning on this guy. We're going to do a little bit of profile tuning. Hopefully make it print a little bit better, a little bit more reliable. And then we are going to do some more printing because I want to get a couple prints on this before I make a video. So I actually have to use the printer to print stuff. So I have to do a little bit of tuning so that it actually prints kind of okay. And then we'll worry about that kind of stuff. So we need to unload filament. There we go. How did you get tangled up? Ow. I'll deal with that later. Somehow it's tangled. But let's go back to the Venture XL. Oh, hey. Hi, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the show. Every stream we give away a spool of polymaker filament. This is a stream. We're going to give away a spool of polymaker filament. Enter for your chance. Link in the video description. We'll be doing the draw at the end of stream. Don't want to miss out on that. So enter now so you don't miss out on that. Go. And I actually, this is surprising. I had to go digging for this. This is a spool of PLA. It's just green PLA. It's Canadian Filaments brand, made in Canada, eh? I had to go digging for this because I wanted to tune this with the most generic PLA I have. And I don't really have generic PLA. I don't. I have a lot of like Polylite, or Polyterra. I've got a bunch of Galaxy and blends and filled and like marble, and I figure if you're gonna tune profiles on a printer like retractions and whatnot, you should probably be using like bog standard PLA. So we're gonna use bog standard. Did I dry it? No, but my basement is my house is climate controlled, so my basement is pretty dry. Put it this way, I have printed PET G that has sat in my basement for 4 years out in the open, and it printed fine. So if PETG prints fine after 4 years of sitting in my basement, I'm assuming PLA will be fine. This is only like a year or two old anyways, so I'm not too concerned. So I'm not too concerned. I mean, if it does become a problem, I'll open up, I have some refills, but the problem is I think the refills are also funky typed filament, so that's my problem. Filament in my garage doesn't stay dry. Filament in my garage I gotta dry because my garage isn't as climate controlled. Although right now, because it's winter, it's actually really dry in my garage, so that's good. Except for the days when it decides to get somewhat warm and then it goes up to like 40% humidity because moisture is a bitch. So, I mean, the fact that, you know, it's not, it's not too brittle. We're good. Are we brittle? No, we're not brittle. Yeah, that was just that end piece. Yeah, the fact that you can like bend it like that, usually when it gets wet, it snaps. So the fact it's not doing that, we should be good. We should be good. We should be good. And if we're not good, then we're not good. Okay. Take the filament in. Come on. So what's everyone up to tonight? Is anyone else getting a snowstorm tonight? What else you want to go in? Go in. There we go. There we go. Okay. Load filament. There we go. Suck it up. Suck it up, Buttercup. So when it comes to slicing or tuning filament, when you're going through your slicer and you're setting up, you're tuning your filament in your slicer, what is the order of operations? Is there an order of operations? You know how you do input shaping and then you do pressure advance after input shaping. What is, should we be doing? We're gonna skip the temp tower. It's a low flow hot end, or it's a standard flow hot end with PLA. I'm not too concerned about that. I'm thinking retractions. We gotta tune retractions. I gotta tune retractions on this. That's what we gotta do. We gotta tune retractions. 6 to 12 inches today, another 3 inches tomorrow. Dang. Would you feed more? Feed more. Feed the filament into the hot end. Are you actually feeding? Where are you going? Uh-oh. Why aren't you feeding in the filament? Oh. This is one thing, this isn't the first time this has happened with this printer. It's the, try a sharper angle. It's this last little bit when it goes into the actual hot end itself, likes to catch. It likes to like catch on a lip or something and then just not feed in. It's like, it just gets stuck there. So what's going on here? What's going on here? Pop this little latch out. Yeah, the joys of a Bowden system. You can't really like push down on it. I mean, I probably could have homed it first. Come on. Go into your hole. There we go. Now you're in the hole. That's what she said. There we go. There we go. Okay, extrude. There we go. Now we're good. Now we're good. Now we're good. All right, let me turn this off. There we go. There we go. There we go. Now we're good. Didn't understand the question. What question? Who am I? Where am I? What am I? Let's home it. Okay. So we'll get our little retraction test going here. So, hair, calibration, retraction test. So start at 0, and what is the stock retraction at anyways? Stock retraction is 1.8, so calibration, we'll start at 0 and we'll go to 3. That sound good? That sounds good. Slice plate, print, upload and print. There we go. Wonder if Rose knows. Hopefully she does. I forward her information to Jason, and he's the one who takes care of that. Okay, so let's go back to the Venture XL. This is gonna do its thing. The other thing we're faffing around with tonight is, can't really do much because the printer is printing right now. It's printingly. So you can't really, you know, can't really look at too much here. Let me see if we can get an angle where it's not reflected to heck, because you're gonna get all the reflections off of my door. By the way, I have a little thermometer thing. You can kind of see it right there, sitting on the rear extrusion. It is 38 degrees Celsius in the chamber right now. This is printing PET CF17 Fibron. I'm all out of PET G. CF PET G. I've got 2 big spools on order on the way, but for now we're printing some PET because I have a bunch of that stuff. So that's printing. The bed is 80 Celsius, the hot end's 285, and the chamber's 38 Celsius. But it's hard to enclose something when, like, literally, you know, there's the inside of the chamber. So it's not like it's sealed up. Plus we have blankets on it. But here's what's going on. So you saw the Droid I printed yesterday, okay? You saw the parts of the Droid that I printed yesterday. If I need to remind you, there it is. So you can see the top dome. This was printed before the rebuild. And you can see we got some layer inconsistencies. The red part was printed on a Prusa. Same with these accent parts. Only the black CF parts, the black CF PET G parts. So anyways, so these lower body parts, these are printed as it is right now, which is also what this was printed in. That looks not too bad. You get some ripples there, okay? But it's not too bad, right? It's not too bad. That's pretty good. This is it with just regular PET G, and it looks horrible. It is wavy as heck. It is wavy. So you may notice I put the 2 idlers back in. I figure, hey, maybe the 2 idlers. Maybe because we had smooth idlers, we had some belt reed, right? We get the good old fashioned VFAs. So I put 2 idlers back on. And, uh-oh. Don't tell me I threw it out. I don't think I threw it out. Anyways, I put 2 idlers in. I started printing that orange part again because I'm very much a, shoot, where did I put it? I might have thrown it out. I don't think I threw it out. I'm very much a, I'd rather test it. I'm a test in production type person. Did I throw it out? I did throw it out. Yeah. Luckily, my garbage is like nothing but plastic and cardboard, so dumpster diving. So anyways, so I started printing it again, And lo and behold, it's not the tooth idlers. It's not the tooth idlers. So this is with the tooth idlers, this is without the tooth idlers. And the print surface finish is roughly the same. Now, it could be the PET G is a little wet. This was a random spool of yellow PET G that I just grabbed. Actually, it might not have been. I think the spool was already sealed. It is actually, shit, now that I'm looking at it in the light, it's hard to say. Actually, it might be a little better. Shit, it might actually be a little better. It's hard to say. Does it? Remember, this little piece I stopped because I literally ran out of filament. Belt tension should be good. Like, according to the shake and tune, belt tension was good. So, I don't know. I don't know. The CF PET G parts are fine, though. I don't know. Was the venture? I'm gonna make a video on it, but I don't know. I'm thinking it was a bunch of little things that just kind of added up. Maybe funkiness with a nozzle, with some belt rubbing and motor current, and I ended up playing with so much I can't actually tell you what item specifically fixed it. But it's working now, and that's what matters the most. So, print speed's pretty nominal. Like, I might drop down the accelerations on the outer wall a little bit. And I might I should probably sit down and redo all my flow stuff, like, because everything is tuned for regular PET G, not CF PET G, which is what I'm printing with right now. So I'm wondering if it could be a flow issue. It could be extruder tension. I don't know. I have always eyeballed extruder tension by going, that's fine. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Like, extruder tension either works or it doesn't, I find. Being a little too grippy on the filament, I've noticed never really been a problem. Like, I've tested it where I've specifically printed something with like, I've cranked down the extruder and then I backed it off and I couldn't tell. So, resonance, print speed. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's just one of those nature of the beast kind of things. Big printer, long belt path on a Core XY. It just might be, and I've seen some other pictures of people's prints off of their Ventures XLs, and they all have that little bit of a salmon skin look. And I'm like, you know what? The fact that pretty much everything that comes off this printer is going to be post-processed anyways, I'm not the most concerned. So, but if the other idea I was going to have is try and make a profile in Prusa Slicer with their continuous wall setting or whatever, and see if that makes any difference. But I don't know if the print that's printing on it would finish before the end of stream today. So, yeah. But I mean, like, these parts are perfectly usable. Like, there's nothing functionally wrong with these parts. They're all going to get bondoed and painted and sanded and primed and sanded and filled and sanded. So it's not like these parts are, you know, they're going to get work done to them. So, where did I put all those parts? Are they down here? 1, 2, 3. So everything's going to get work done to it anyways. So, which one is this? This one. I don't know why it has knobs in it. Okay, those more inward. There we go. And then once that other part finishes, it goes on top. Yeah, it's got 9mm belts. So, Surprised you've seen completed prints from other XLs. Yeah. Apparently, like that whole issue where I was having issues with it and chasing down gremlins was pretty much like something my printer had. I don't know what it is with me. I'm very unlucky when it comes to this stuff. I get gremlins a lot of the time. Now, I don't know if it's just I pay more attention to stuff after I build a printer and I notice gremlins, or it's just my luck, but like, there's been a couple printers and kits that I've gotten over the last little bit that have had gremlins. The SV08, the Saval SV08 they sent me was a lemon. The ProForge that I built, I'm not, in case you haven't noticed, you don't see me use it. I've been having issues with the USB with it, like the tool heads popping in and out of connectivity. The Venture XL, like, it's gremlins. It's gremlins, I tell you, it's gremlins. So, look at that printer go. It's so quiet. I love it. I wonder if GF filaments. No, they don't. Steve, they don't. Glass filled and carbon fiber filled filaments, they don't make a printer print any better whatsoever. They just hide deficiencies. Same as marble. There's a reason companies use vase mode to show off their printers. It makes it look fast and it's hard to fuck up. It just hides the deficiency. See? Like, look, low camera resolution from far away. This print looks amazing. But you throw it up on you know, look. Oh, the print looks great, right? The print looks great. But if I hit it with the right light at the right angle, that's enough to make an entire YouTube career about bitching to Prusa about VFAs. It's all about lighting. It's all about lighting. Especially black prints with harsh angled lighting makes any printer look like shit. Enable fuzzy skin. Looks better than the yellow. It does. It does. Oh, and just for comparison, it's not just the yellow. This is black PETG. Or actually, this was the ABS print that was printed too cold. This looks horrible. This looks absolutely horrible. But I have a feeling this was really wet ABS in a chamber that was not hot enough. Like, look at all that. That looks horrible. That looks absolutely horrible. This was printed right before it. So, but the thing is, you can kind of feel it, but it's not like, okay, it is bad. It is bad. So I don't know. I don't know what's causing that effect. Because, you know, this was printed in PLA, and this doesn't have that effect. This was printed in PLA, and the problem is this is like a semi-clear Galaxy PLA. So this doesn't have that salmon skin effect. So I'm wondering if it's like a model thing, like a geometry thing. Is it the belt pitch? I don't know. They're GT2 belts like every other 3D printer. But I do have tooth idlers on it right now. So what droid? I'm building an R6 astromech. And for those that don't know, in Star Wars, all the astromech bodies are the same. It's just the dome that's different. So. Like, it could be a flow thing. It could be like, I don't know. But I'm not super concerned. But this was ABS in a, this was a spool, to be fair. This was a spool of Polylite ABS that's been sitting out for like a year in my garage that I ran through a filament dryer for like 3 hours before using. So it might be moisture related. It probably is moisture related because it is a bit stringy, unless those are dog hairs. But it actually has some pretty good, you know, layer adhesion. Like, got some pretty good layer adhesion, so I give it that while I throw it in the garbage. Okay, so there's that. How's this coming along? Oh, okay, so we may not need a lot of retraction on this because it's pretty clean. Leaning forward towards long belt slack. The belts are as tight as they can go on this thing. Like I would have to loosen all the belts off, take the carriage off, pull them in a couple bit more, and then retighten. The belts are pretty tight. The belts on this printer feel tighter than any of the belts on any of my other printers. Like from doing like a little twang test, they feel tighter. And according to the shake and tune, it's pretty healthy. So, now the other thing I wanted to do is, where did I put it? Uh-oh, here we go. Was this long enough? Hopefully this is long enough. That should be long enough. I need to put a thermistor in this printer. So I have a thermistor. It's a 104 NT. That's good. So I need to put this in the printer, and then the other end will plug in. Hopefully this is long enough. This should be long enough. Let's go double check. Let's go double check. Time to CNC conversion? Nah. Let me see, so if this were to go all the way to the top into the controller, oh yeah, this would be long enough. This would be long enough, yeah. So, make up a little extension. Make an extension. Do I have female connectors for JST? I don't think I do. I don't think I have JST females. No, I don't. So I am going to have to use these ones and just put a thing on it. I had a long extra, I don't know where I put it. I had a long extra thermistor and I put it somewhere and I don't know where I put it. And it really annoys me. So I gotta make one now. I mean, it's not a big deal, but it's one of those things I wish I didn't have to do. 'Cause I had one and I put it somewhere and I don't know where I put it. Although, where are my wire strippers? Can you say how you made the Venture so quiet? It's just normal. The only thing I've done on it to make it like quieter is switch to a different tool head. I have an A4T on it, which I don't think is that much quieter than a stock tool head. So, like I changed out some fans. It's got new electronics, but the drivers are the same. So, yeah. Also, my mic has noise canceling. So if you are watching this at home, there's active noise canceling. So you're not hearing everything. Still have to do the gantry. Make sure everything's square. Make sure everything is square with that printer. Otherwise, you will not have a good time. It is a very picky printer. Big printers, big problems. What tool head board is on it now? An EBB 36 Gen 2 from Big Tree Tech. Big Tree Tech EBB 36 Gen 2. And then I have that paired with a Kraken and a Big Tree Tech Pi 2 for the Linux SoC. Go. Yeah, I started this print I should have started the print that's on the printer now a little bit earlier, so it would be done like before stream started, but I forgot to. Like I sliced it all and I moved it over, and I'm like, shoot, okay, I gotta do something. I wanted to do, I came out to the garage when I saw the yellow print, and I'm like, okay, this printing like poo-poo. Let me try and fix something. So I sliced the part, not this one, the one that's on it right now that's printing. I sliced that, I uploaded it to the printer, and then I told the bed to heat up. And then I went over there and I swapped the bearings over. So I swapped from the smooth tooth idlers to toothed idlers. You can see them right there in the on the right there in front of the white foam. So now it has tooth idlers for the XY joint. So none of the teeth are running on smooth bearings to try and remove that as out of the equation. And then I went inside because I'm like, I forgot to hit print start. So like an hour, 2 hours later, I went, oh shit, print start. And now it's printing. And I don't think it's gonna finish until, let's see here. The only thing I'm not a huge fan of is I think it has to do with the Big Tree Tech Pi 2. The longer the printer is on, the slower the Wi-Fi gets. So it doesn't affect the printer working, but like the webcam used to be 15 FPS and now it's 3 FPM. But yeah, the print will be done at 1020. But I wanted to put a thermistor in there. So at the back of the chamber, you can see where the right where that aluminum strip is in the middle there. You can see the Bowden tube coming out there. I'm gonna take a thermistor, put it on that, and then run that down the Bowden tube, and then plug it into the controller because I have one extra thermistor output because 4 are being used by the beds, but I have one available so we can get a temperature read inside the chamber. So the Pi 2 is a CB2, basically. Actually, I think it might be a little bit more powerful than the CB2. BTT Pi 2. Maybe? I don't know. It's got a rock chip. There you go. BTT Pi 2. It's really nice. It's got some things that are really nice. It's got built-in eMMC. It's got, I think it has faster Ethernet than a Pi. I don't know. But it's got a built-in M.2. So if you want to put like an NVMe card in here or an M.2 SSD, you can. You can power it from 24 volts. So you don't need like a buck converter. You don't need a 5-volt buck converter. So it's got some really nice things to it. It's just not a Raspberry Pi. So you run into like compatibility issues and stuff. Okay, so I'm wondering if that 1.8 millimeter of retract is too much because that gets pretty clean pretty quick. Like, what do we go? What do we do? We did 0 to 3, right? Prepare, calibrate. Retraction test. Yeah, we did 0 to 3 in 0.1 millimeters. So that means for every 0.1 millimeter, it's, I don't know, about a third of the way up is good. So if a third of the way up is good, that's about 1 millimeter of retract, right? Yeah, so we'll do 1 millimeter of retract. 1 millimeter of retract, roughly. Yeah, because right now it's like 1.8 retract, which is quite a bit. 1.0. Okay, 1.0 of retract. So we got that. Save. Okay. Yeah, so we got, what do we got? 115 tall and 110 round. Oh, so we have 115 round. Cool. So I need to print something on here now. Printables. What was that? What is that one print? Is it a water dragon? What is this print called? It's a Prusa print. Water dragon? I want to print this because I want to compare it to the a print off of the Core 1 that I have. This one. Download. Download. Now, to be fair, that's in a different filament, but it is what it is. Can't stay long having a big clear out. Where are you going? Where are you clearing out to? Don't leave me, John! Don't leave me, John! Okay, we gotta drop the height a bit. Ooh. 114. There we go. 1 millimeter under. Kids stuff from when they were younger. Anything good? Print. Upload and print. Okay. Now we'll see how it goes. Sweet. Let me get the camera over here so you guys can actually see what's going on, because for a print and chill night, like tonight's just a print and chill night. We're just hanging out. We're gonna do some printing and do some chilling. Although we do need to figure out what we're doing for the next build. Because we have a couple options. Namely, we have the two main options are as follows. Either a stealth changer, or we rebuild the Cocoa Press into the V2 version. So either V2 Cocoa Press or stealth changer. I kind of want to do the Cocoa Press. It's Apocalypse. Thank you for becoming a channel member. Cheers and appreciate it. I know the stealth changer is hot and cool and all. Put up a poll. I'll put up a poll. How do I make a poll again? Oh yeah. Start a poll. Next build series. Cocoa Press V2 and stealth changer. There we go. Do a poll. Personally, I want to do the Cocoa Press. I think that's cooler. Chocolate is cool. I'm gonna throw stuff out. Garbage. You collect so many stupid little pieces of paper doing this stuff. Garbage. These are garbage. What are you? You're garbage. I gotta build something to shoot these. I have so many spools of Filament. I need to build a disc launcher that launches these. I have so many of them. We even have the pre-made spools that come apart now. What are you? You're garbage. There is still something rattling. I think it's just the frame, just the panel or something. Because it doesn't help. The extruder is mounted to a panel. So the extruder, actually it might be the extruder on the panel rattling. It's tight. 6 tool. Well, it would be 4, I think it would be 4 tool. It'd be a 4 tool stealth changer, I think. So. Also, this camera does not capture lighting good. How's that? Oh, that's printed pretty good. Yeah, that fiber on's feeding pretty good. Although, probably be happier with a warmer chamber. That chamber is a little on the chilly side. I was really hoping tonight, honestly, the reason I don't have a lot to do tonight, I was really hoping on getting the call saying, hey, your panels are in. And then we would spend the stream making panels and enclosing the big guy. But unfortunately, I didn't get a call. So I'm gonna call him tomorrow and be like, hey, You got my panels? Because I gotta like, oh shoot, that's what I gotta make. Are there pre-made panel clips for 1/2-inch panels for Vorons? Hey Steve, do I gotta make panel clips? I think I gotta make some panel clips. 1/2-inch panel clip. Does anyone make 1/2-inch panel clips? Because the panels I ordered are 1/2-inch. Shoot, let me find it here. I think I have a link to them somewhere. Yeah. Yep, Breakout Fusion. Yep. Yeah, so I ordered these. I've got 2 of these coming in. Flash sale, BMR. But they are insulation panels, Suprema wall system. This is the important part. Polyisocyanurate. This is the plastic you want, or the foam you want for panels, because it's fire resistant and it doesn't sag under heat. This is what Luke uses, not these specific ones. He gets his from Menards, which we don't have in Canada, but he uses this type of plastic panel for enclosing his printers. I think he uses 1-inch panels. I'm using 1/2-inch. I can always double it up if I want down the line or something, but I ordered 1/2-inch. So they're 1/2-inch panels. So I'm thinking because they're like foam, I could just have like an L clip that just, you know, screw into the extrusion and it just locks it in. No Menards. How do you save big money? I know I can, as a Canadian, I cannot save big money because we do not have Menards. What's Menards? Think of it like a Home Depot, Walmart, crappy tire type store. It's a Midwest US thing. Put it this way, at like Murph, that's where everyone goes because they need to buy power strips because they forgot to bring power strips. You go to Menards. So it's like crappy tire. It's like crappy tire. So, and yes, you can save big money there. Some panels. Yeah, these were, because the thing is, the printer's big, so I wanted to use insulation panels. I just didn't want to. There is a place near me that actually does make ACM panels, and I was going to go with them first, but they kind of quoted me we're going to quote you. I reached out to them, and I'm like, hey, do you guys do custom orders? And they responded, yes. What size of building are you looking to get? Like, what size of signage? And I'm like, oh no, it's not signage. I need like 3 panels, roughly 3 feet by 3 feet, with a bunch of custom holes in them and whatnot. Because it's, you know, I wanted to put holes in it so I could just mount the panels right to the frame. And they replied with basically, I don't have the email because I'm not logged into that account on this computer. They replied with, a order that size would have custom pricing attached to it. If you would like to know, please forward the CAD files. And I'm like, I'll get back to you. That was, I could tell, like, as somebody who used to work in sales and who worked in the trade, I could tell this was a person trying to give me the fuck off price without literally giving me the fuck off price. So, yeah. But these panels, I think they were like $37 each Canadian. So I ordered 2 of them. I'm gonna have to cut them in the parking lot so I can fit them in my car to bring them home. But it's a 4x8 sheet, and I need like 28 inches by 28 inches or something. So 3 feet by 3 feet. So yeah. Menards is the 11. So they're like crappy tire then, right? With the crappy tire money. Oh, sorry. For you Americans, we have a store chain up here in Canada called Canadian Tire, but like everyone calls it crappy tire because they sell, it's crappy tire. I don't know. We call them crappy tire. They used to have money, Canadian Tire money, which was paper. Like it was paper money. Let me We're gonna nostalgia trip for Canadian Tire money. So it used to be like legit, like this stuff. So when you went to Canadian Tire, you got like 5 or 10% back as Canadian Tire money, and you would use that to purchase stuff in the store. Yeah, it sucks now. Canadian Tire is now owned by some company that always, you know, as soon as you walk in the store, there's a student there trying to sell you an insurance or a credit card, and you have to get a points card now because they don't actually have the paper money anymore. They don't even take the paper money anymore, I don't think. It sucks. They've lost all soul, and they used to be pretty good in terms of actual quality. They used to be like Sears. Like, you know, the Sears workshop, you know, the Sears Craftsman brand, how it used to be good. Canadian Tire has Mastercraft, which used to be good, and now it's junk because it's all just China made shit. So yeah, so now we call it, when I was a kid in like the 90s, my dad called it crappy tire. Now it's really crappy tire. So it used to, yeah. Like, it used to joke this was Canadian money. Like, this used to hold its value better than the Canadian dollar for a while. Could we try ABS? Yes. I don't know how long this print is. I should have probably looked at that before starting it. This is going to be a long print, unfortunately. But yes, we will do, I'm going to try, I'll print some ABS on it tomorrow. The plan today was to make sure it's printing good. So we did some I did do some calibration. I did some faffing around in the slicer yesterday after the stream. So I did tweak a few things. And then the goal today is just make sure this is printing good. And then tomorrow I will just print a bunch of stuff on it, and then I'll make a video, and then it'll come out like Monday or Tuesday. Sound good? Sound good. Lowe's bought the Craftsman brand. Yeah, it's all named now. It's like how Canadian Tire owns like the Bay, but it's just the name of it. It's not the same thing anymore. So. Catalog came in the mail. It is funny how Amazon now sends out a Christmas catalog. For those that know, Sears used to be Amazon. You used to be able to order a house through Sears. Like, Sears was Amazon before the internet. You used to order stuff. Like, I remember my parents ordering stuff on the Sears catalog and like going to pick it up at the store. Like, that's how it was back in the day. So if you wanted to order something, you ordered it through like Sears Roebuck back in the day. Now, but the thing is, when the internet came out, they just did not capitalize on it at all. And Amazon just basically took their business model and just ran with it online. And yeah, also private equity. Does the Delta Flyer have an enclosure? It does. This printer is fully enclosed. This printer is fully enclosed. I have the door open right now because it's printing PLA, but the printer is fully enclosed. Could have. Yeah, Sears literally could have just done what they did and just brought it online. And yeah. Because here's the thing, if you haven't noticed, a lot of companies now, their storefront online is also a multi-business storefront. Like, you go to Best Buy on their website and you search, and half the stuff you see isn't even from Best Buy. And Walmart too. When you go on Walmart, it's like when you see in the news, right, where you're like, you could buy a Nazi shirt on Walmart, and it's like, it's not Walmart selling it. It's Walmart's online storefront allows other people to sign up and sell their stuff on there. A lot of it's random drop shipping crap, and there's like no vetting. So you find all kinds of sketch stuff up there that makes the news, but it's not Walmart selling it. So they're like, a lot of companies now have online digital storefronts where anyone can set up a store on it. Yeah, third-party sellers, because it's easy money for them. All they do is just take a cut of the sale, and they don't really have to do anything other than host the website. So, I had relatives in Manitoba who bought a Sears house in the late 1800s. It's still standing. Yeah. No space for a Nevermore. You probably could fit a Nevermore in here pretty easily. Like, there's a decent amount of space underneath the printer. So you could probably easily fit a Neverbore under there to like suck heat in and then blow it up. Yeah, you could probably do that. So you could probably, yeah, you could easily put like intakes here to suck air in from under the bed and then blow up or something. There's room under there if you wanted to do that. I mean, it's not a big volume. You could drill holes in the panel, put stuff in there. It's not crazy. So. Also, I love the fact that I could just pick up the printer and show it while it's printing and put it down, because it's a Delta, so everything's kinematically like, there's not as much play in it as a normal printer. So like, I can't even see in the print if there's any layer, there's no layer shift or anything. So. How much is the kit going for? You'll have to go check the LDO resellers. Let's just pull up, you know, West 3D. West 3D. By other printers. So all. The printers for ants would it fall under there? I mean, I could just look up Delta Flyer. It is a 582 kit. How much is it at Fabrico? Fabrico. Like, you have to understand it's a limited, it's a low volume kit. The price doesn't go up on them? I don't remember being that. Oh, that's a Doron Velta. That's a Doron Velta. That's a different printer. Delta Flyer. 560. Yeah, they're about 560. The prices go up on them. They're all sold out too. They're all sold out. I didn't think it was that much. I thought it was a little bit less. Oh, is that Canadian? Are they showing the Canadian prices too? Yeah, they're showing. That's why. That's why. They're showing the Canadian price. Yeah. So. Is there a way to change it to American pricing on here? Flyer. When tube changer? Well, judging by the poll, that's the next build is stealth changer. So. Yeah, I think this is the Canadian price. So whatever this is in American, because I didn't think it was 582. That seems pretty high. Like KV3D. Okay, yeah, there you go. 389. That's what it is. It's about 390 US. Yeah. 390 US. There you go. I'm like, I remember seeing it in the 300s. No way it's like 580. And then it's like, oh, Canadian pricing. Yeah. And again, it is a low production volume boutique kit. You're not going to get the same price efficiencies as if the, you know, apparently the material costs on an Ender are like 10 to 20 bucks. That's what, like, I remember somebody telling me, I don't know how true it is, but somebody was telling me the actual material costs that it cost Creality to crank out an Ender 3 kit material wise was like $10 or $20 US because, you know, scale. So. I worked at Sears from 94 to 2016. They could not figure out how to run retail online business. I left because they had to compete with. Oh yeah, yeah. Remember back in the good old days when a guy wearing a suit working at Sears selling TVs can make enough living for a stay-at-home wife and 3 kids and go on a vacation every summer? Remember those days? Remember, what was the guy from Married with Children, Al Bundy? He sold shoes and he had that big house. By the way, there was a layer shift from the there was a layer shift from me flipping the printer over. There's an itty bitty layer shift. So. Pepperidge Farm remembers. Yeah. Nah, it wasn't liberalism. Who are the ones that have gotten rich since then? But we're not going to get into politics because people don't like that. The politics was for all you to have around the turkey the other night. I'm sure you all got enough of that. No, it wasn't companies, you know, padding their books and doing stock buybacks and cutting benefits so the owners can make more money. No, it wasn't that destroyed the middle class. No, it wasn't tax cuts for the rich that destroyed the middle class. No. That wouldn't make sense. Behold, more droid parts. I will say these files, for those that don't know, the droid I'm building, the Astromech, the files are from Michael Baddeley. It's a $5 Patreon. You sign up for a $5 Patreon for 1 month, and you can download the files to build like all these droids. It is insane. And then you join the Facebook group and people share like free mods and stuff. Like the return is insane for what you get off these files. Like here's a little event. I gotta figure out how to put exhaust in that. All the greeblies. As somebody who has worked at 2 different companies that got bought out by private equity and watched a nice job go to shit so that the owners can buy more expensive cars, I am I have my positions on stuff. Okay, let me fire up some more parts here. Oh, these, I don't know what happened here. I printed these on the Core 1L. And I thought they turned out fine. And then I looked at them. I did have to do a filament swap because I ran out of filament. They all have this like weird, like where an entire like layer didn't stick on. And I don't know what happened. Like, I don't know what happened. It's for some reason it decided like a whole string was like, yeah, you could see it right there. I don't know what happened there, but it's like it decided to bridge it, and I don't know what happened. I could print them vertically. Let's try printing them vertically. Maybe if I print them vertically. Did any of these turn out okay? Yeah, I grabbed them all off the printer and then I looked at them like just before the stream because I had to move them. They were sitting on my desk here. And I'm like, okay. Yeah, that one's no good. That one's no good. Yeah, like, I don't know what happened. Look at this. See what I mean? Have you ever seen that before? Because it's supposed to be like the bottom here. It's literally the same thing. But it's just like, I don't know if it like, because it printed like this. And it just didn't, I have never seen this kind of failure before. Because if you look at the body of it, it's the same. Like it's the same. This is the same. But it just kind of like, it bridged it. Maybe it thought it was a bridge. Like, because it's not continuous across the whole part. Like, it starts a little bit in, and then it ends. Maybe it thought it was a bridge or something. That's just really weird. Yeah. It didn't do it on the little one. The little one came out fine. The little one came out fine. That is like the weirdest part failure. Like, yeah, I'm thinking remove small overhangs. Is that a setting? I know Cura has that. Yeah, maybe it thought it was an overhang. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. It thought it was a bridge. It thought it was a bridge. This one's good. This one's good. Okay, that one's good. And then this one's bad. Okay. So the question is, which one is which? Are these all the same? That one's bad. That one's bad. That one's bad. These are all the same, but one turned out good. So I have 4 of these and one turned out good. Why did one turn out good and the rest turn out bad? That is just really weird. That is so weird how... Okay, so this one failed. Oh, you know, maybe how much you want to bet the one facing this way turned out fine and all the ones facing forward failed? How much you want to bet that's it? How much you want to bet all the ones facing forward failed and all the ones facing backwards finished fine? Because these two finished fine. So let's try vertically. Try vertically. Cooling angle? Maybe? It's just really weird. I've never seen that kind of fail before. These 25. Yeah, this will tell me if I have any wobble. Okay. Send to connect. I mean, it's the Core 1L, so it's got a wraparound cooling. It's got wraparound cooling. Yeah, I'm wondering if it thought it was an overhang. But overhangs are blue, right? Yeah, so it'll bridge that. Yeah, just one little bridge. Okay. Well, we'll see what happens. See what happens. The Venture XL, yes, the Venture XL has a tube compact on it. And it prints beautifully. The tube does. The printer is still working through issues, but the hot end works great. Okay, so because this isn't the beta version of Slicer 3, so I can't have tabbed. So Core 1 high flow. This has polymaker, or not, Prisment ASA. 0.25 structural or balance. I've been using the balance profile a lot. I like it. I've been using the balance profile a lot, and I've been liking it. Basic body, Greeblies. Okay, so have I printed these ones yet? No. All right, so I gotta print these. There we go. Send to connect. 411. Go. Totally not running a bunch of printers to keep my garage warm. Nope. Nope. No, we're not. Forward to Slicer 3. I seen the beta. And by seeing the beta, I seen some images and whatnot. It looks really nice. I'm sure all the other companies will like it because they'll be able to steal it like they did with current Prusa Slicer. So everyone with the Bambu will get a nice upgrade at some point. But I really like the tabs will be nice. The tabs will be nice because like having like 3 or 4 different instances of Prusa Slicer open gets really annoying real quick. When I was printing the Gundams, when I was printing the Gundam that I have in my basement, I had like 4 instances of Prusa Slicer open because I had like one for the Mark IV, one for the XL, and then one for each of the Core 1s, because one Core 1 has a hardened nozzle on it. So I was printing CF PET G on it. The other ones I wasn't. So it'll be nice to just have tabs. So you just have one instance open and you just have tabs for all the different work stuff. So that'll be nice. So somebody's got to do the development that the other companies rely on. And if you're a super serious person in my chat, I am joking. Yeah, not being able to copy paste. Yeah, there's a bunch of little annoyances that come from having to deal with that. Oh yeah, these fit perfectly. Kind of, sort of. Do a little fapping about with fitment. I do need to do some fitment, like to put the actual main body of the astromech together. It's just kind of held together by friction right now. But I gotta, there's bars through it that I gotta put screws in and tighten everything down. But I gotta do some fitment easing with like tabs and whatnot because they lock into each other, and I gotta do a little, make it all fit perfectly before I actually torque the whole thing together and epoxy it all together. But I was gonna do that tonight, but I can't with this on the desk. So is what it is. The ability to have just user profiles, you must have at least one. Yeah. Yeah, I do get it where it's a little annoying sometimes where slicers are like, nope, you have to, like, they handhold a little too much. Like, that's one of the reasons I like Super Slicer for a bit. Like warranted for Bambu. I still love the fact that they, in their like original blog release, they went on about how awesome Voron is and like how they were inspired by it. And then he did the interview with the Dr. Chow or whatever his name is, did the interview with CNC Kitchen. And during the interview, he was asked, like, would you be willing to open up the AMS? And he's like, oh, you know, maybe it would be opening up to working with Voron, maybe. And then I'm like, hey, I'm from Voron, let's work. And nothing. It's like, what happened? You say you're open to outreach, and nope. No fun zone. Super Slicer is supposed to be seeing more development. Ooh, oh, I did not hear about that, Down Undermaker. That sucks. So we still have a bit of stringing on here, which kind of sucks, but it's very, very wispy stringing, so not too concerned. Oh, hey, the nozzle cleaning thing worked on the Core 1L this time. And it closed the vents. No, it told it to PET G and it decided to close the vents. Maybe it was like, hey, the garage is cold, I'm going to close the vent. How's the big guy printer going? I keep forgetting this thing's printing. It's so quiet. Yeah, maybe I'll drop Excels or something on an angle or something. I don't know. Andrew Rogers, $10 for the Simplify 3D Fund. Cheers and appreciate it. I will use that on my my Tico. The rubber bands are there for preload. So on a Delta, you have the arms fit on ball joints, and there's a little bit of play in there. So by putting elastic bands, it kind of like it just kind of preloads everything. So they're not required. It does help with rattling. It makes the printer a little bit quieter. Because I was getting some rattle, which it turns out was like the ball joints kind of just on the arms. Because again, it is a lower price printer. So, you know, the arms are the arms. So by putting elastic bands on it, kind of preloads it essentially. So. Do I remember Pathio? Oh, why does that sound familiar? Pathio. Pathio. Coaching. Pathio. Why does that sound familiar? Oh, that was the one by E3D. I remember that. Yeah, it's doing real good. It's doing real good. Now, to be fair, that was like 6 or 7 years ago. I remember hearing about that when I first got into 3D printing. So, yeah. There we go. I have so much belt. I gotta put all this belt away. That can go over there. Loading tube, go over there. Random gear. Garbage. Oh, there's the GPIO board from Crusoe. Did I put? Come with me. There we go. Okay, charge this guy. Input. There we go. Charge. What was that? Don't knock it. Gifted 5 community memberships. Cheers and appreciate it. Thank you. Good with tool changers. Was it developed along when Prusa was working on their tool changer? Is that when it was shown? I mean, at the end of the day, let's be honest. For those that know, like those in the business, for those that know, we should be extremely thankful that two things. One, slicers are not like CAM software. Like, let's be honest. We should be thankful every day for the fact that slicers for 3D printing aren't like CAM software. It is so much easier to use and we don't have to deal with like licenses and whatnot. And two, it's not the bullshit that is resin slicing. Like the fact that FDM slicers are so damn good, they are free. They have they are, except for a couple from specific companies, they don't nanny ya. You can do pretty much whatever you want with them. Like, holy heck. Like, I'm sure there are some companies out there that would love to charge fees and subscriptions for slicers for FDM. The problem is they can't because the free options are just so much better. I don't think, and let's be honest, most of the companies that would probably want you to pay a subscription fee, their slicers are based on open source slicers, so they can't really do that easily. So yeah. Open source. Yeah, like for those that don't know, Prusa actually has a paid development team that works on Prusa Slicer. Like they actually have a paid development team that works on Prusa Slicer. So, yeah. Simplify was good. I remember, I think I tried Simplify once. I may have acquired a copy at some point and tried it. And I went back to Orca, or not Orca, I went back to Cura, I think. This was like when I was new to 3D printing, like new to 3D printing. I was like, I will give this a try. And then I tried it and I'm like, I will go back to Cura. Luke, you still use some? It sucks balls to use. Then why do you use it still? Like, is there anything specific with your printers that make it where you want to use it? People still clean. Cura is fine. Like, let's be honest, Cura is probably like, you either have a Prusa Slicer based slicer, which, you know, is based on Simplify, but nobody's really using Simplify. So you have a Prusa Slicer based slicer. So Prusa Slicer, Super Slicer, Bambu Studio, Orca, they're all based off Prusa Slicer. Or you have Cura. They're like, Cura is completely separate. So I could see some cases where Cura makes more sense, depending on the machine. But it's like they are completely separate. It's not like, you know, Orca and Prusa Slicer where they're you know, there's forks. They're you go down the chain, they come together. Cura is way the frick over there. So their supports are still God tier and it handles multi-material and multi-nozzle size better. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, true. Like, here's the thing. If you are selling a commercial printer and you are selling it to a customer that is going to use the printer the way you tell them to do it because they paid 20 grand for the printer and they are only printing approved materials on it and they're not modifying any, they are literally taking the software, installing it, default profile, load model, print. If you are selling a machine, it kind of makes sense to have a curated experience. It makes sense to have a curated experience. And if you can curate that experience and wall the garden off and whatnot to what makes the most sense and works the best, I can see that. I get it. So. And especially if it's a business expense and it's a business machine doing business stuff and like, you know, it's one of the reasons, like, okay, the Pantheon, for example. Okay, you do not need a $10,000 Pantheon to print Gucci CF nylon. Pretty much any other machine I have can print the same stuff that this Pantheon prints. But the Pantheon guarantees that when you print their material with their slicer and it comes off, it meets material requirements, standards, and you can put that shit in a rocket that goes to space because they vet it. And they have an MSDS sheet that goes with it and a spec sheet because they test the parts that come off of it with their slicers and the settings, and they keep material properties and they're guaranteed to certain stresses and ratings and whatnot. That's what you pay for with a machine like this. That's what you don't get with a machine like this. This, you kind of eyeball that shit. This is printing brackets to hold shit on spaceships and make dies for stuff I can't talk about. So there's a big difference between I am printing a little doodad to give to my kid or to like make shitty YouTube videos with, and I am printing stuff that, you know, this multi-million-dollar thing and this workflow requires. So there's a difference. There is a big difference between home gaming and industrial production. And I don't think a lot of people understand that. Because when I tell people this machine costs 10 grand and they're like, well, actually it doesn't print peak, ergo it is a waste of money, it immediately tells me that you don't know what the hell you're talking about. So. Print CF nylon. I've printed CF nylon on most of my machines. I've printed PEC on a Voron. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. And it depends on the use case. Did I get? Yeah, this got a tube. I printed a few parts. I've been using it to print big dumb stuff. Like I've been printing brackets and rings for the astromech, like stuff like this. You could tell I ran out of white ABS like on the last layer. But it's great because it just chucks them out so damn quick because it's got a tube with a 0.6 nozzle on it. Actually, that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to do a speed test. Oh shit, hopefully I didn't break anything. Nope, we're good. What is this loaded with? This is loaded with black ABS. I don't know what brand of ABS. How much ABS? What brand? Polylite? Is it Polylite? Polylite ASA. Okay. Let's do a speed test. I haven't done a speed test on this. That'll be fun. Okay, let's load another Orca instance open. Hey, Luke, what's the max flow rate of a tube with ASA with a 0.6 nozzle? Target 70, okay. So, Seaboard Trident tube, calibration, max flow rate. Okay. So we'll start at 20 and we'll go to 80. We might run into a problem with this machine because I literally do not know. I think the magnet on it is dead. The, pretty sure the magnet on the bed, because I had some pretty bad warping. So I don't know if it's the, it's just the flex plate that was on it is kind of crap or what. So I've swapped it out to a different flex plate, but the magnet's still the same magnet. So. We'll see how it goes. Also, is it snowing out still? Or has it actually started? It was supposed to snow. We were supposed to get a bunch of snow. And then, I don't think is it snowing yet? Oh yeah, it's snowing. It is snowing. Also, at some point, I'm gonna figure out which circuit every printer is on. Because I think that one. Okay, you're the big guy. Or no, you're the big guy. So that circuit goes to the big guy. I don't think that's the same circuit. This one is plugged into another. Okay. I have two 20 amp circuits in my garage, and then I have a 15 amp circuit in my garage. The 15 amp is easy to find because it's all the original wiring in the garage. So this computer and a bunch of other stuff is on the 15 amp, I think. Should probably check that. So, and then I have two 20 amps. One of them has the Venture XL. And me being the big genius that I am, I forgot to label which plug is which. Because I kind of alternated them. So I'm like, this is this plug, this one's this one. Because I'm like, okay, you know, that one's on one circuit, that one's on a different circuit, that's on one circuit, that's on a different one. Because I figured I have printers. I didn't know where all the printers would be up. So I just doubled them. So all these printers on that shelf are on one circuit. And these are plugged into that one. So I think that one is a different circuit than that one. Hopefully. Or is it that one? Okay, it's plugged into that one. Okay, so that and that are different circuits. So at least, worst case scenario, because we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 printers running right now. So, yeah. Plus a computer. Plus a bunch of studio lights. Plus a bunch of cameras. So, what I got to do is I just got to turn one of the circuits off and go on with the light and figure out which one's which. But we'll figure it. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. What are you doing? You heating up? You're heating up. First being never start a land war in Asia. Second, although slightly less well known, is failing to label your outlets. Well, it's kind of easy because the 20 amp ones all have 20 amp plugs. So at least I have that. So beyond that, I don't know. I do know I can't run 3 printers and a kettle on the same circuit in my house. I found that out when I had COVID. I was living in the basement. I spent like a week in the very first MRF I go to in like 2022. I avoid COVID during all the lockdowns. First event I go to after COVID, I get COVID. So I come home and I spend a week hiding in my basement so my wife and my son don't get sick. And so I'm in my, like, I streamed during it, by the way. There were streams I did. You can go find them, the COVID streams. So fun fact, a Voron works really good for heating up Chef Boyardee and Pop-Tarts. You just put them on the bed, let it do its thing. But I had a tea kettle downstairs for like Mr. Noodles and tea and whatnot. And I made the mistake of running that while I was printing parts on 3 Vorons at the same time, and I popped the circuit. So it happens. How are all these prints going? Hopefully it reads the new Z offset. It should be fine with the Z offset. Yeah. With the new flex plate. CSA dry enough? It's in a dry box. It should be fine. Like, my garage in the winter is pretty dry. My garage in the winter holds like a pretty low humidity percentage. It's in the summer that it gets pretty bad with the humidity. It's doing a heat soak. I added, to try and help with the bed from warping, I added like a pause to it. So it heats the bed up. And then unfortunately, I think I have the pause in the wrong spot. So it heats the bed up and then it heats the nozzle up and then it pauses. So I gotta fix the start macro on this machine because it's kind of horrible. I think it's the original start macro. So it's just gonna sit there and melt filament for like 5 minutes while it just lets the chamber heat up. So speaking of heat, seeing my printer room is 12 by 12 foot. Last winter we had furnaces around the house. Print room dropped to about 50 F. I used my 2 largest printer with the beds at 110 to heat the room. Got up to 68 in the room. Yeah, printers put out a lot of heat. They're just inefficient. That's the thing. Like, I have this little guy right here. This is a Lasco. I don't even know how much. I mean, it's got to tell you the output, right? It's a 1500 watt heater. So it's a 1500 watt heater. It's plugged into a circuit. Which one? I don't know. But usually what I do is I'll come out about 2 hours before the stream starts. I'll turn it on high and it heats up my garage enough where it's fine for the stream. And then when I come out, I'll turn it to low and then it's fine. Like, in terms, I have more issues keeping the garage cool in the summer than hot in the winter. And honestly, now that I have this little plug-in AC unit back here, that was fine. Like, I wanted to put a mini split out here, but I think this little setup with the AC and this, because the thing is, I only need heating and cooling for like half the year. Because it's like, from like late March to like early June, I don't need anything. And from like mid-September to like early November, I don't need heating. So like there's like, I need it for 3 months in the summer and 3 months in the winter, and that's it. The other, like the rest, I'm fine. Like I've only turned the heater on in the past 2 weeks out here. And the Venture XL, at least before I had it enclosed, was heating up the garage by itself just fine. So, like the Venture XL, when it's not enclosed, printing PET G, puts out enough heat to heat up the garage. And like, it gets the garage warm. So. Yeah, this time of the year, we don't use HVAC from second week of September to the middle of November. Yeah. Like, I'm Southern Ontario, so in the middle of summer, it gets hot here. And there are times when it does get cold. Like right now, it's like -2 out. But, like, the walls are all insulated. I have some insulation in the ceiling. I'm actually going to probably go get another bat or two of insulation to put some more insulation in the ceiling. Now that I can actually go in the attic and not die from the heat. And then I also have the wall that splits my garage in two. So all the heat from my heater stays on this side of the garage where I'm at. And then I just wear a flannel. And I'm good. I'd rather it be a little chilly. I would rather it be a little chilly than hot. So. Yeah, we're getting that storm right now, although it's honestly not too bad. I could probably move this air conditioner somewhere. Yeah, I gotta move this air conditioner somewhere. 1 second. Ooh. Let's see. Let's see here. I'm gonna move the air conditioner, get rid of this. I'm gonna move my air compressor to the other side of the garage. I gotta get rid of this printer. I have like an actual like, yeah, there we go. There we go. Ooh. It's snowing. Can you see the snow? There we go. Lock and lock. I have a big old lock on the door, so. And it's a metal door. How's it going? Going good? Going good. Laying that first layer down. Everything printing just warped. All the printers are enclosed. Like, you have to dump a bunch of heat, or you'd have to lose a lot of heat. Like, I've done it. I will say I've done it with the Venture XL already once, where I had something printing on it, and I opened the garage door. I went out, and I came home, and I'm finally broken the habit, I think. I go into my house through the garage door. I've always done that. When I lived at home, when we got this house, you drive into your driveway, you just hit the button, open the garage door, and you go into your house. I've always done that. And I've had to stop doing that because now I have like the Venture XL out there. But now I'm going to have it enclosed soon, so I won't have to worry about it as much, at least in the summer. But I had it where we got home, it was raining out, the printer was printing, and I got home and I opened the garage door, and it's like, I see the garage door go up all the way, and then I see the printer printing. And I'm like, oh shit. I hit the button for the garage door to close. I go in through the front door, I come in the garage. Water had dripped down on the printer. I was like, shit. The print had warped a little bit. I'm like, ah. There was like that late October cold rain. So. Build a rat rig? I've built a rat rig. I have a 200, I have a VZ bot or is it not a VC Pod? I have a Rat Rig 3, the 3rd gen Core XY. Where in Canada I am. Okay, look at a map of Canada. Go as far south as you can. That's where I'm at. V-Core 3, that one. I have the 200 millimeter V-Core 3, and I don't really use it, unfortunately, because it is a lot of printer for the size, and it's kind of overkill for the size. Ontario, yes. Huge Bambu, but I've acquired the H2D recently. I do a lot of 2 and 3 color, and it's been perfect for my needs. Well, there you go. Correction to your thing. I'm not a, or actually your comment's actually pretty true. I'm not a fan of Bambu as a company. I don't really have much against their printers. I think the H2C is a waste and is a really not good design at all. It's basically like trying to be the best of a tool changer and an AMS, but instead it's the worst of both. And I don't like Bambu's business practices, but I think their machines are fine. And especially if you have a proper use case. If you know you are printing with 2 colors or main color and support material, the H2D is a very valid printer for a lot of people, if that's your use case. So it's the H2C, I think, is just really, I think the H2S is a lot of money for a big dumb printer, single nozzle printer, but with their AMS system, it makes it not as bad. I think the H2D is very valid for some people. And I think the H2C is if you're gonna burn your money, subscribe to this channel and ring the bell and gift some subs, because you might as well, if you're gonna burn the money, some other people might get some channel memberships out of it as well. I really think the H2C is a really bad idea. I was gonna do a green screen video, and then I set up the green screen. I'm like, nah, I don't want to do it. I know the moment I put out a video where I just rant about how much I think the H2C is a bad design, I'm like, I don't want to deal with the comments I'm gonna get from doing that video. So now I just talk about it every time somebody asks me about it on stream. So. I did wait until I saw what the H2C had to offer. Wasn't impressed, and the H2D looked like a better machine with no laser. Yeah, the laser is dumb too. You can buy a big dumb enclosed printer like a Creality K2 or Cheedy or whatever. You could buy a standalone laser, and you could buy a vinyl cutter, all for a cheaper price than the H2D with all the add-ons. And you'll have 3 separate machines that each one are better than the H2D at each thing individually. It's a gimmick, and honestly, looking back at it now, and after speaking to some people, I don't think it's a gimmick response to the Index. They were probably developing this before the Index, and it really feels like I think they just went down the wrong route. Okay. So, you know what? I'm gonna do the rant. I'm gonna do the rant now, and I might cut it out and make it a standalone video. Okay? So we'll talk about. So you know what? Here comes the part of the stream. I'm gonna bitch, moan, and complain about why I think the Bambu Lab H2C is a folly, and I really think Bambu went down the wrong route when it came to designing the H2C system. I do not think, or correction, let me rephrase that. In my opinion, or ooh, see, this is why I don't do videos on this stuff. Okay. So, do not take this as a critique of Bambu Lab themselves, although my stance on them as a company, I'm not a huge fan of some of their business practices. That's its own thing. I think some of their printers are really good for those that need them. They do fit some really good niches. They have very good entry-level machines. That is completely separate. I am talking about the actual system itself of the H2C, okay? And we're gonna start off by telling you a little story about the Voron jetpack, okay? I am part of the Voron design team. I've been part of the Voron design team since like 2018, 2019. I don't know, it's been a while. I don't even know what I do on the team, but I've been in there for a while. At one point, Voron machines were all Bowden machines. They were all remote feed extruders. We didn't do direct feed systems because they were Core XYs at the time. This was before Input Shaper. Clipper was still relatively new. We didn't want to put the weight of an extruder on the tool head because printer go fast and you need to be light to go fast, so you put the extruder somewhere else. The problem is when you have a big machine like the Voron V2 350, that is a very long Bowden system. You have your extruder way up here. It's got to go all the way down 350 millimeters of X, Y, and Z down to the extruder, or to the hot end, okay? So we got this idea of the jetpack. The idea was you would take your extruder. Do I have an extruder somewhere that I can use as an extruder? Okay. You take your extruder. I gotta have an extruder. I gotta have an extruder somewhere. Here you go. Okay. There you go. You take your extruder, and instead of mounting it on the tool head, you mount it to your gantry. So you have your X gantry, okay, on a Core XY, the X gantry moves back to forth, and then your tool head moves left to right. So you're gonna put your extruder on your gantry, and this is the best of everything. You have a much shorter Bowden tube, right? The Bowden tube only goes from here to here, or here to here, or here to here. It's a very short Bowden tube, and the tool head is still nice and light, so you can throw that thing around. And we're like, this is the best of the world, right? We have the lightness of a Bowden setup, and we have the short filament path, almost as short, not as short as direct feed, but we have a much shorter filament feed path. So we're gonna have easier to tune, better print quality. The problem is, instead of it being the best of both, it was the worst of both. Yes, we don't have the weight of the extruder on the tool head for X motion, but in the Y, it's still there. And now the harmonics are all fucky because one, you're having a big difference between X motion and Y motion now, a lot of extra weight on the Y. And two, if the tool head is here and you're moving back and forth versus the tool head being here moving back and forth, the harmonics get all funky. And two, you still have a Bowden tube. You still have a Bowden tube. It's not direct feed. So instead of being the best of both, it is taking from the worst of both. That is what the H2C, the Vortex system, as Bambu calls it, is, in my opinion. So what is the system? Essentially, it is a hot swap, hot end changing system. So instead of it being a full tool changer, like a Prusa XL or the Snapmaker U1, which swaps out the physical tool head, the hot end, the extruder, the fans, blah, blah, blah. Instead of just swapping that out, it's just swapping out the hot end, okay? And it is better than the AMS system because now you don't have to purge out. The problem with the AMS system or an MMU system is you have to basically, Bambu does it where they cut the filament off in the hot end, they cut out above it, they pull that filament out, they feed a new filament in, you have to flush out the old filament, and then you can print, okay? So we're removing the need to flush out that filament, okay? And we have different nozzles, so we can swap it. The problem is the Vortex system, instead of pulling from the best of both setups, it's not as expensive as a tool changer because you're only swapping out the hot end. You're not swapping out the fans. You're not swapping out the extruder. So it's going to be cheaper than that, okay? And you're going to have more capabilities than a AMS system and you're going to have less waste. So it's the best of both. Unfortunately, it's the worst of both, okay? Yes, it is cheaper than a full-on tool changer, but it's still not as cheap as a AMS system. Because guess what? One, you still have to buy the AMS system. Every one of these nozzles requires the AMS. So if you want to use the right nozzle and all 6 Vortex nozzles that are the swappable ones, you need 2 AMS units because each one can only do 4. So now you need 2 full AMS units plus your 6 Vortex nozzles, plus your 1 standard nozzles. By the way, they are different hot ends. I'm going to swap between calling them nozzles and hot ends, but they're the same thing. In this case, I'm referring to the same thing. The Vortex hot end is a different hot end than the standard Bambu H series hot end. So if you already own a Bambu H series printer and you have a bunch of different hot ends for it, you have to now buy a whole new set of hot ends that are only compatible with the Vortex system. So each hot end, so all 6 of them, okay, are different. Okay, and okay, they come with 0.4s. Okay, now you want a whole thing of 0.6s. Now you got to buy a whole thing of 0.6s because I don't think their slicer allows you to mix and match yet. Okay, if hopefully it does, that'd be really nice. But they don't allow mixing and matching, I think, right now. Correct me if I'm wrong. So now you, instead of just like on an XL, a Prusa XL, if I want to switch to different nozzles, I just buy different nozzles. I can buy $3 nozzles and they'll work. Okay, the Vortec proprietary hot ends. Okay, they have chips in them. So if you jam up the nozzle, you can't just take a torch to it to heat them up because you'll kill it. Okay, so they're pretty much, if you get a bad enough jam, they're disposable. You can't fix them. They're all-in-one units with like chips and magnets in them and whatnot. They're proprietary. I don't know if you'll be able to buy aftermarket ones. And I believe they're like $20 more than a standard H series hot end. So now you have bespoke, more expensive hot ends that you can't unjam as easily. And if they get damaged or jammed in any way, you have a nozzle crash and you bend it, it's garbage. You can't just replace a part. You have to throw out the whole thing. Okay. But that's okay. You're saving on the purge. Okay, you're saving on the purge. You're saving on the purge. A spool of filament is about 20 bucks. The Vortex system is $700. I don't know about you. I personally don't print enough where I can buy a hell of a lot of filament for $700 and throw that away in purge before I even break even monetarily. Okay, so, and I don't print a lot of multicolor, and I'm assuming a lot of people, unless you are a power user, you have to print so much where $700 of purge filament, it becomes a reality for it to make sense monetarily. Okay, this is like, instead of just using AMS systems dealing with the purge, you go into the Vortex system. Okay, so one, you save a little bit on purge, but now you have a bespoke proprietary system. It is not as cheap as an AMS system, but it's not as expensive as a tool changer, but it's still more expensive than the AMS system. So you're saving on purge. What else are you saving on? Not much else. Time. Who was it? Stefan. Or not Stefan, Tom from Printed with Layers or Made with Layers. There's too many YouTube channels with 3D printing with layers in the name. Anyways, Made with Layers, it's like, what, a minute 20 or a minute to do a tool change or a filament change on the AMS, 40 seconds on the Vortex system, and like 10 seconds on an XL. So you're saving 20 seconds versus their old system. So now it's 20 seconds faster. $700 to save 20 seconds per filament change. When a tool changer, a Snapmaker U1 is only a little bit more than $700, by the way. Okay, that's 10 seconds. So you're not saving a lot of time. Okay, you're saving a little bit of purge. Okay, and it's not as cheap as an AMS system, but it's not as capable as a tool changer. With a tool changer, it's faster because it's literally and you're ready to go. The Vortex system, yes, you're swapping the nozzle, so you don't have to deal with the purge anymore, but you still have the AMS system. So yes, you have some efficiencies because you're able to like pull out the filament while it's swapping the nozzle because it cuts it off, right? So you're having a little bit of timing efficiency versus just a single nozzle AMS setup. But you still have to do the full retract the filament out of the Bowden tube, swap over to a new filament, feed that through the Bowden tube, and then boom, okay, now we can prime and ready to go. So you're still dealing with all the penalties and all the limitations of the AMS system. You can't print flexibles. The Prusa XL, you can print, or the Snapmaker U1, you can print PLA with a PETG support material with TPU live hinges, okay? And you can use any TPU. You can't with the AMS systems. You cannot push rope down those tubes. It doesn't work, okay? Also, you're gonna run into issues with super brittle filaments, okay? The amount of times when I had a Bambu X1 with the AMS, where I had filament either dry and snap inside the AMS system that required me to take it apart and clean out broken pieces of filament, that still exists with the Vortex system. So you still have all the filament material limitations of the AMS system, and now you have a tool changer. Or not even a tool changer. It's an AMS system, or it's a nozzle changing system. So it really screams like, at first, when it first came out, I, along with a lot of people, were like, oh, this is a reaction to the Bondtech index system. Because the Bondtech index goes all in, okay? The Vortech wishes it was the Bondtech index system, okay? Because the index system is a smart way of doing the hot end swap. Yes, you still have the extruder on the tool head and the fans on the tool head, so you're only swapping out the nozzle in the hot end. But there's no electronics on those hot ends, okay? Those hot ends are inert. There is no chip in them. There's no PCB in them. They are inert metal with a silicone sock on it. So guess what? You get a bad jam, you can heat that bitch up, okay? You can get your piano wire and shove that out. You'll be fine, okay? 2, the filament stays attached to it the whole time. That Bowden tube sticks in it and it don't come out. So that means when it does a swap, it literally goes, dock, grab the new one, inductively heats it up. All the electronics are in the tool head, inductively heats it up really quickly. It's like, what, 10 seconds? Prime, go. Because the filament is already there. You're not having to deal with the whole AMS system doing pulling it, loading it. So guess what? You can print flexibles. You can print super stiff materials. And guess what? It's an open system. So you can put that bitch on a clipper machine. And guess what? Hook a freaking AMS to it. Or sorry, not an AMS. Those are proprietary. Hook a Vivid to it. Or a box turtle to it. So you could have, if you really wanted to, a Voron V2 with like a freaking dozen indexes on it, and one of those indexes is hooked up to a custom box turtle feeding from a rack of 24 spools of filament with rollover. Because why not? It's Clipper, it's all macros. You can do whatever you want. It's your printer, have fun, get creative, okay? So you can do all that. So there are some downsides to the index. It's not a super high flow hot end. I do believe the Vortech nozzles do beat the index nozzles in pure flow rate. Trying to think of other advantages that the Vortech system has over the index system. The index system is cheaper. It's more compact. It is open. So yes, you'll be able to get it with the Prusa Core 1. They are working with Prusa to have a solution that you could easily make, but you could also put it on your Voron. You could also put it on your VZBot. You could also put it on that custom machine you designed yourself in 2018 that's running a Duet. Guess what? You can put a Vortech in, you can put a Bondtech index on it. There's nothing stopping you. You can just do it. It's open. So I'm trying to think of other benefits. Like the Bondtech system, it really feels, or sorry, the Bondtech system's good. The Bambu system really feels like, at first, I was one of those people that were like, oh man, they're launching this in response to the index. But I don't think they could have. There's no way they could have designed this in a way like as quickly as they did, because they showed this off months ago. And I think they showed it off so early because they were cooking this, and then the index came out and they're like, oh shit, we have to like put this out there so people are thinking about this. Otherwise, people are going to completely forget about our stuff and won't buy in our, because we'll put the H2D out and then we'll say, oh, you can update to Vortex later. You can update to Vortex later. So we can at least lock some people in before Index comes out and eats our cookie and drinks our milkshake, because it's going to drink their milkshake. It really, honestly, in my opinion, Bambu dropped the ball and they should have gone all in on a tool changer, but they didn't. Because Bambu, unfortunately, has a history of saying something sucks and then immediately coming out with the thing that either makes their previous product obsolete, or the thing that they said sucks, they're doing it now. When they first launched their P1 and the X1, they're like, the age of bed flingers are over. And then the next printer they come out is a bed flinger. And they announced the Vortex, and it's like, material waste is horrible. You know, all our systems waste the most material of any multi-material system out there. It's horrible. Look at our Vortex. So if they were to come out with a tool changer, that would just be them going, that would kill all their current offerings. Because, you know, as somebody who has a tool changer, has multiple of them, and if anyone in the audience here has used a tool changer, the moment you use a tool changing 3D printer, it basically makes every sort of single nozzle multicolor system out there feel like a caveman banging rocks together. Like in every other way other than price, obviously, price and complexity. In every functional way, tool changers are better than single nozzle multi-material setups, okay? So I don't think they wanted to come out with a tool changer because it would basically kill their entire current ecosystem, because they've sold multicolor 3D printing to the masses. And if they came out with a machine that was a tool changer, it would basically kill all their existing products, because everyone who wants to do multicolor, well, go get the tool changer. It's 5 times faster and has no waste. Why would you not get the tool changer? Unless you print like 24 colors at a time. I barely print with 5 colors at a time, let alone 2. But that's me. I'm not everyone. Obviously, if the printer does make sense for your use case, buy it. I'm not telling you not to buy any other printers. I'm just like trying to think of the average person here. So it really feels like, how can we design a system that our biggest complaint is purge? How can we design a system that deals with the purge issue, but still keeps our entire ecosystem valid? They should have gone all in on a tool changer, and instead they half-assed it. They're like, we don't want to go all in on our tool changer because it'll make all our AMSs obsolete. Why would anyone keep buying AMSs? Why would anyone buy our P1 series or our X1 series or our H2D? Why would you buy an H2D when you could just buy a tool changer, right? So it really feels like, how can we solve the one complaint that everyone has? Because at the time, the only other commercial tool changer on the market for the consumer level with the XL. The XL has a bit of jankiness to it. Let's be honest. It's got a bit of quality control issue. I've had no issues with mine, but some people have. It's expensive. It's a bitch to enclose. It has some faults. So when you're looking at the market and going, well, the only tool changer is this thing, and people don't like it, so why should we bother making a tool changer? Let's stick in our little walled garden with our current ecosystem and just kind of refine it a little bit. Let's round this little edge off of waste of purge. Let's get rid of that. It'll make everyone happy. And then SnapMaker comes out and goes, hey, look at our U1. Look how cool it is. And everyone went, oh shit, a cheap tool changer. And everyone's like, wow, look, it's like 10 seconds to change colors. Oh, look, no purge. Holy shit, this is great. And everyone's like, this is like how much? The same price as an X1 with an AMS? Well, I know what I'm getting for Christmas. Like, it basically killed their entire, it pulled the rug out on them. So I really think they went down the wrong road. They should have gone all in on tool changing. They didn't want to for whatever reason. And I think it's going to bite them in the butt now, because I think the SnapMaker U1, now every other company, I guarantee you, Creality's cooking up a cheap tool changer right now. Cheaty's probably cooking up a cheap tool changer right now. Elegoo's probably cooking up a cheap tool changer right now. Everyone's trying to cook up cheap tool changers now. Whereas Bambu's like, look at our like $3,000 H2C system. I don't know, it's like 3,000 Canadian. I don't even know. Can you even buy them in America after the tariffs? I don't even know. But it's like expensive as shit. You need 2 AMSs for it. So you better have room for this big printer with the 2 AMSs. And all the filament to feed it, and you better have a use case to justify that price. So yeah, it's more expensive, it's not as efficient, it has a lot of has a lot of deficiencies that going, either go full tool changer or stick with the single nozzle setup. Trying to be in the middle ground and trying to pull the best of both means you're just pulling the worst of both. It is not as simple and cheap as a single nozzle multi-material setup, and it's not as good and as capable as a full tool changing setup. You're in the middle and you're pulling the worst of both. I was going to say the boast of worst. You're pulling the boast of worst. So yeah. So I really think the Vortex system is a lame duck. I'm sure there are some use cases. If you need a enclosed tool, if you need an enclosed system where you can print 2 different materials without having to deal with cross-contamination, because that is another system, that is another advantage to the Vortex. You don't have the cross-contamination issue. Because for those that don't know, with single nozzle setups, one of the big problems with it, if you're trying to print PLA and PETG or a ABS and a dissolvable sport material like HIPs, you have to do a ton of purge because you can't have any of the mixed filament, because you'll get material properties of both, or they won't work, or your material that's not supposed to dissolve will dissolve and vice versa. So purging and cross material contamination is gone with Vortex, so that's good, but it's nowhere near as good as a full tool changer. because you're still limited to standard materials. You can't do flex. It's they should have gone all in, but they didn't. So yeah, I really think the H2C is a lame duck. I'm sure there are some people that will take advantage of it. Okay, I'm sure there are use cases for it, but like for me, I would have zero use for an H2C. I would have zero use for an H2C with my current workflow for what I use my printers for. An H2C would be a complete waste on me. I have a full proper tool changer. Why would I take a step down to an H2C? Simple as that. So there you go. If somebody wants to clip that whole thing and edit it into a video, let me know. There's my H2C rant. It's DOA in my opinion. Okay, we're at 43 millimeters cubed a second, and it is going good. Yeah. Rant over. Their target competitor. It's not. For everyone who says, Prusa sold 20% more machines last year than the year before. Or this year than the year before. I can't remember what it was. In year to year, Prusa sold 20% more machines than their previous year. That doesn't sound like a company that's fighting a competitor that's beating them. It's Creality. It's Elegoo. It's Cheating. They're the companies that Bambu is fighting. They're the ones that are direct competition, right? People that buy Prusas will keep buying Prusas, right? Prusas have an advantage that none of the Asian market printers can touch. They are more secure. They're built in the EU. They scratch an itch that certain companies and people want, okay? They are doing fine. I'm sure they could be doing better, okay? But like, I don't know. Somebody has to keep working on the slicer that other people use. So it's Creality that's getting their lunch eat. It's Elegoo that's getting their lunch eat. It's Anycubic. It's any other like Asian market 3D printer company. They're the ones that are hemorrhaging sales to Bambu. So, yeah. Did you solve the outer wall issue? This is what the Adventure XL is printing right now. So, I'm still having these little like VFA issues, which I got to figure out. But this is what prints. This is a CF PETG print right off the Venture XL. So, any comments on DJI? Apparently, DJI is really pissed at Bambu for buying. DJI is apparently pissed at all their senior engineers leaving to do startups and then poach other senior engineers to come work with them. So they're not too happy with that right now. So I guess there's for a while they were kind of cool, but like I guess DJI and Bambu are a little, you know. If you want my opinion on this, 1 second here. I hate loading up YouTube when I'm streaming. For some reason, whenever I load up YouTube while I'm streaming, it never... Come on, YouTube. Do your thing. Come on. Holy hell, YouTube.
Do you really think he has a chance?
The arrogance of man is thinking nature is in our control, and not the other way around. Let them fight.
Yeah, that's my opinion. if they want to be, if they want to get into stuff, have fun. The drama YouTubers will love it. Just think, even in a country with over 1 billion people, they're in short supply. Yeah. Pretty much dead in the US. It is funny. I went to Costco. So Costco, even in Canada, right? You walk in, they have that little section of electronics in the front, and they used to have the DJI drones. They still have the same drones. They're just not called DJI anymore. They look exactly the same as the Mavic Mini and whatnot. And they have all the same capabilities and they're the same price, but they're not called DJI anymore. And I'm like, Even losing share to the war drones. Yeah, the problem with the DJI drones is they're too easy to jam. The problem in the Ukraine conflict is basically consumer drones like that are too susceptible to jamming. There's a reason they pretty much move over to... The only time you see those drones is in like areas that are not as much a hotbed, like the smaller scale areas. That's why you're seeing everyone move over to fiber optic now, because you can't jam that shit. Because fun fact, as somebody who has flown drones are surprisingly easy to jam, especially if you're using like the FPV systems for watching. All you do is just spam RF. For those that don't know how jamming works, imagine you're trying to talk with somebody and somebody just walks up to you and just yells in your ear. And it just makes it so you can't hear anything else. So you try speaking in a different language and it works, and then that person just starts yelling in another language. That's jamming. Fly your little FPV drone near a radio tower and you'll get the fuzzies and then you'll crash. That's all jamming is. So you just basically blast out RF and it kills the signal. It overwhelms the signal. Obviously there is ways to encrypt it and whatnot, but consumer level stuff is relatively easy to jam if you have the right equipment. The Russians have a lot of Alibaba shit. It was hilarious when I was in China going through the markets in Shenzhen, and you would see the stores selling RF jammers, and you see a lot of white guys there that have very Slavic Russian features buying that stuff, and you're like, what are you buying that for, sir? Where are you going with that big jammer that fits in? Oh, you're taking that back home. But yeah, the fiber optic just makes it work. So they've all moved over to fiber optic. And also it's a lot easier just to build a cheap drone, slap a fiber thing on it, and off it goes. So economies of scale. There's a reason there's a lot of 3D printers over there. Drones are a thing. Fiber optic is it works very good in this case. It's thin enough and light enough, and the drones have enough power. Because remember, you only see the videos, like, we're going to go down this pass. I'll try and keep it pretty PG, but you only see the videos of the successes. You don't see the video where they take off with the drone, they fly across the field, they start flying through the trees, and that fiber optic thing gets snagged and breaks and the drone crashes. You don't see the video where they go out and they fly around for 15 minutes and the battery dies and they just crash. You don't see those videos, but that's probably the majority of the use case. You only see the successes. Those drones don't fly for a long time. So they just go out and they find the most opportunistic thing to hit before the battery dies, and they hit it because it ain't coming back. It's a very unelegant way of fighting, but it works. And it is what it is. Possibly Prussia's? Probably. I mean, Prague, Czech Republic's right next. It's pretty dang close, so. This thing is laying down plastic beautifully, by the way. This thing is stacking layers like dimes. What about 1 fit for Venture? Probably help. Put it this way. None of my other printers are having that issue. So I don't think going to 1.5 belts would solve this issue. Like, does anyone make 9mm pitch Gates 1.5 belts and then also the gears and everything so I can just do a straight one-to-one swap in? If they do, maybe I'll reach out to somebody. But I'm not going to hunt down a bunch of expensive things just to maybe fix a VFA issue, which we don't even know if it's a VFA issue. I don't even know if for all I know, it could be a wet material issue. Because I only tried it with 2 spools of filament. One was an ancient spool of PET-G, and one was a spool of ABS that had been in my garage for a year that I ran through the dryer for like 3 hours. So. Yeah, changing to 1.5 belt means your pulleys are different diameters and you have to re-engineer your AB. Yeah, I'm not dealing with that. I am not dealing with all that. If there's a company out there making 1.5 millimeter 9 mil belts and has a full drop-in system of pulleys and gears and whatnot, maybe I'll look into it, but out of stock, yeah. I honestly think whatever issue I'm having is not a belt tooth pitch issue. Considering the fact that the issue is still there from going from smooth to tooth idlers, I don't think it's the belts. Yeah, I think it's just a harmonics thing. I think it's just a harmonics thing. I've got the printer tuned enough that the parts that come off of it are good enough for post-processing. Once I get the printer properly enclosed and like it's at the point where I'm like, I'm not gonna mess around with it anymore, then I'll start playing around with belt tensions and stuff, because it's like I don't want to. It's working. I don't want to do a bunch of stuff to it before I have to do more stuff to it. I want to get it stable, and then I'll do some tweaking and whatnot. Like I'll do some actual testing. So. Because here's the thing, I didn't have that issue when I printed that print in PLA, and I don't know if it's a geometry thing. I don't know, because that issue didn't show up in where's the cube? Yeah, so like this doesn't have that issue. Like this is smooth. This doesn't have that issue. So. This was like pre-software, pre-slicer tuning. But like, see how this is all nice and smooth? This is PLA. So I don't know if it's a PETG flow issue or what, but like this surface finish is much different than this surface finish. And this is the same printer with the same hardware. All that's changed between here and here is like slicer settings and material. So I don't think it's via a belt pitch thing. What's the final? On the Venture XL, once I get it enclosed, I'm going to do a sit-down video and talk about everything I've done with it. It's got a Bigtree Tech Kraken as the main board. It's got a Bigtree Tech Pi 2 as the Linux SoC board. And then it's got a EVB 36 Gen 2 USB as the toolhead board on a A4T toolhead with a LDO Orbiter V2.5 extruder and also a Luke's Lab tube compact hot end with a 0.6 silicon carbide Fadus nozzle. Oh, hey, we're finally getting some flow issues at 62 millimeters cubed a second. So we're good to about 60 on this setup. This is with ABS at 250, by the way. Luke, how hot are you running ABS when you're printing? How much filament do you need for printing parts for the Delta Flyer? 2 spools. Yeah, there's a primary color. You could probably print it all in one color and maybe do one. You need 2 spools. 2 spools. Yeah, 2 spools. 1 primary, 1 accent. Mix and match whatever parts, but like there is no set. It's not like a Voron where they're called out which parts are primary and which ones are accent. I don't know. I just kind of looked at the model and went, okay, these in this color would be cool, and these in this color would be cool. So get 2 spools of filament, a primary, and an accent, and have fun. It's like 1.2 kilograms. Yeah, it's over. You're gonna need 2 spools. So pick 2 colors you like, and there you go. Luke said run at 280. Okay. 280. Let's see if it can. Okay, at 64 or 65 millimeters cubed per second, let's see if the hot end can heat it up from 250 to 280 with that much cooling. Because remember, running filament through the hot end acts like a heat sink. It cools it. All 3D printers, fun fact, all 3D printer hot ends have liquid cooling. It's called the filament. 276. Yeah, wow, it heated right up. What do you know? The tube is powerful. And honestly, I don't even know if I have it, if I told it, because this is running Calico. I don't know if I told it what the heater is. I don't know if it's an 80 watt or a 100 watt heater in it. I can't remember. Luke, do you remember what size the heater was that you sent me? Yeah, it's at 280 now. Now, to be fair, this is Polylite ASA, so it's not the highest flowing filament, but... By the way, this is 67.2 millimeters cubed a second flow rate. This is also a 0.6 nozzle at 0.3 layer height. So like when you see printers going stupidly fast, that's because they're printing with a very small nozzle, like a 0.4 nozzle or smaller, with a very low layer height, right? So they're printing with a very low layer height so the printer can go really fast. But like 68 millimeters cubed a second flow. And how fast are we moving? Seaboard tried it. 164 millimeters a second. $165 millimeters a second, and we're getting 69 millimeters nice cubed of flow. It's either 120 or 140. What did I tell it? How important is it that I tell it? Yeah, I told it I have 100. So if I tell it I have it 120, I don't think it... How important is it that this is right? So yeah, if you want to print, if you can print fast with a big nozzle on a slow machine, it's all about flow rate. It's all about flow rate. It all comes down to flow rate. That's why I've had some people like, oh, you should do an all-wheel drive mod on the Venture XL. And I'm like, I don't print that fast. Like, I can't. I'm running a bigger nozzle at a bigger layer height. And it's like, there is no reason for me to move that fast on that machine. Flowcalc.net. So, wow. This is looking a lot like math. I don't like math. Pre-order tube. If you want to buy, if you want to get a tube or a tube compact, which, fun fact, the tube compact fits in pretty much all your standard Voron hot ends. So if you have a stealth burner, an A4T, an Ant tool head, and you want a quick swap hot end that chooches, tube compact will drop right in. Use code Canuck. Help support the channel and save a little money too. So it does the math for you. Oh, it does? Okay. No, calculate your flow rate. So, correct. So if I'm moving at 120 millimeters a second with a 0.6 nozzle at a 0.3 layer height, so max flow rate is 60. I'm flow limited at 60. Oh, extrusion with 100%. There we go. There you go. Oh, are we okay? Yeah, it's okay. This is starting to fail, but I'll let it fit. Oh, nope, it's failing. Pause. And cancel. Cancel print. Why are you still running? Oh, yeah, this magnet's done. This magnet's done. Shit. See that? That magnet's done. It's peeling off. Yeah. When you go to peel the flex plate off and the magnet comes with it, that's usually not a good sign. It's usually not a good sign. Shoot. I'm gonna have to get a new magnet for this bed or something. That's annoying. So it was good up until about here at 250, so. So we started getting imperfections at about 75 millimeters. 70, 78. Yeah, so the lowest imperfection, 77 millimeters. Yeah, 77 millimeters. That's about 60. About 60. 63. I would tell it 60 would be the max. I would cap it at 60. And that's at 250. And we got... Layer adhesion's pretty good. Like, it's falling apart, obviously, but it's one wall. But layer adhesion's still pretty good. Did I print onto the magnet? No, I printed out. I have a flex plate. I got a flex plate here. But it's the whole thing was warping up. Why did you error out? Did you error out? Error, stepper reports, GSAT, reset. Okay, cool. Higher temp. Yeah, this is just regular CFPET-G, or not CFPET-G. This is just regular Polylite ASA. Not, like, I'm sure if I was printing with some, like, MG94 ABS, it would go a lot more faster. How hot does this chamber get? Let's watch. Moment, XYZ home. I'm pretty sure this chamber gets pretty hot. All right, so let's go Z 125. Let's hit the bed to 105. Let's see how hot the chamber gets. Easy way to tell how hot your chamber gets, if you want a quick, easy way to just quickly eyeball how hot your chamber gets, home your bed, XYZ middle, put the bed at like the middle of the chamber roughly, and just heat the bed up to like 100 and just leave it for half an hour. And then whatever temperature your hot end says it is, that's how hot your chamber is. Easiest way to check your chamber temperature. Just heat up the chamber and just let the hot end sit there and tell you what temperature it's at. So, any idea where to get a Nevermore? You print it. You print it. You buy a hardware kit and you print it and you put some carbon filters in it. I think. How's this print coming along? 94%. What are we at anyways? Oh, it's 10:30. Yeah, this one, 94%. I need to get a wider angle camera. I can't capture the whole print volume. Where do you get the filters? I don't have a Nevermore in any of my printers. Also, I live in Canada, so when people ask me where they get stuff, I'm like, I don't know, Amazon. I don't know where you guys get stuff in the States. Good deal on some PPAGFs from Soraya. I have some Soraya stuff I got to try still. Might print some on that. I wanted to print some drone frames and then the weather got shitty out. Okay, what's going on in the world? What is going on in the world right now? What else is everyone else 3D printing? So the Seaboard did good. Honestly, now that I got the Seaboard kind of up modded, like we did do a bunch of changes to this. I trying to remember what we changed on this hardware wise. I'm pretty sure I swapped to a legit Raspberry Pi. Obviously the whole tool head and the tool head board is Luke's lab. We got the takeoff, we got the Jupiter, we have a full-size tube in there, we got a beacon. This machine now is actually pretty damn good. This is my, although I don't know how long I'm going to keep using because the frickin' bed isn't good. I got to replace the magnet. I might actually have a magnet. I have a magnet. Okay, I've got a spare magnet. Why do I have a spare 300mm magnet just sitting over here? I don't know. I don't know, but I have it. So we'll put a new magnet on at some point. So that means I gotta take the old bed off. That's gonna be annoying. That's gonna be real annoying. That's all. I'm gonna have to run that out. I know what we're doing Tuesday now. I know what we're doing on stream on Tuesday. We're taking the bed off this and we're cleaning it, and then we're gonna get all the goop off of it. So I gotta go get some goo gone and then put it back together. So I don't know what 3M 300L 300 LSE. Luke, is this good? I don't know where this bed even came from. I don't know where this magnet came from. Okay. It's fine? Okay. I just want to see what the chamber gets to. What time is it right now? Yeah. Usually the beds turn off after about an hour or half an hour. So. WD-40? I do have WD-40. The problem is it's annoying because it already has the heater on it. So it's not like what you can do. Fun fact, if you ever have to get the sticker off, like the adhesive, if you have the adhesive on something, so you got a flex plate, it's got a PI sheet on it, and you want to get that off, heat it up, peel it off, and then the adhesive, what you do, just take a dishwasher pod or detergent, a little bit of water, and just let it soak overnight. And the adhesive just comes right off. The problem is you can't do it on a bed that already has the heater on it. So you got to be careful cleaning it off, that you don't get any of the stuff that you're using to clean the goo off underneath it on the heater, because that would be bad. So, but yeah, no, I need to get this going because I actually have this machine printing nice now, and I want to use it for print. This is taking over for what what I wanted to use the VZBot for. This is what is going to use it. This is what I'm going to use. This is my big dumb thing quick printer. It's got a 0.6 nozzle in it. It just splooges out plastic real fast. I'm not going to use it to print like anything high detail. This will be like, I need a bracket now. That's what this machine's for. I need big dumb thing quick. Because while it's 300 by 300, it only has like 235 millimeters of Z, I think. It's limited on the Z because it's a Trident, so it's only got like 235 of Z. So, any dead bed? Well, if you're taking the bed heater off, it'd be like if you could submerge the plate in water. Take a dishwashing pod, put it in hot water in a little container, big enough that you can put the plate underwater, like a casserole dish or whatever, and just let it sit overnight. And it'll dissolve all the adhesive, but it's going to dissolve all the adhesive. So, well, I use a 0.3. That's what I have. I have 0.3 layer height. When I use my normal go-to is whatever the nozzle size is, half of that for layer height. So like the Venture XL, it's got a 0.6 nozzle. I print at 0.3 layer height. This is a 0.6 nozzle. I go at 0.3 layer height. I do have a 0.8 nozzle now too. I did pick up a 0.8 Fadus nozzle too. Also, a vendor got some cool stuff that they're sending me. So I don't know when that stuff's going to show up, but I'll put that in a machine too. So, discolor the aluminum. Wow, I've done it before and it wasn't an issue. So. When that get, well, he was talking about the heater. Yeah. Pantheon is, yeah. The Pantheon is when I have $120 spools of filament that I need a machine I fully trust. That's what the Pantheon is for. It is hilarious how like this machine and that machine have the same bed size. Just look at the size difference between them. That machine and this machine are both 300 millimeter beds. The HS Pro is 400. So this is the HS3, the HS Pro, their new one. The machine is only an inch bigger on the X and Y, but it has a 400 millimeter bed versus a 300. This machine is not space efficient, but it's got, you know, clear path servos, so I can't really complain. I wish I could justify using that machine more. Like this machine, I don't want to say it's wasted on me. I have put it to good use, but it is, I don't know why. I don't know how I lucked out and they sent me it. The ball screws. Oh yeah, it's got ball screws. It's got balls. It's got balls of steel. See, I have room on the floor over here for a stable bot, Luke. Actually, I don't. I don't have any room. I have this much room between my, I have this much room. From here to here, I have this much room. Magneto? Magneto's down here on the floor. It hasn't been on in over a year. I stole the screen off of it. The Magneto, unfortunately, is kind of, yeah. I give Poly all the credit in the world for trying something different. I give Poly all the credit in the world for trying something different, but the linear rails on that thing, or the linear motors, just finicky. Just finicky. They have to, the printer has to print fast to get good wall quality on the prints. It's just kind of like, it's so close to being good, but it's a lot of finicky for not a lot of advantage. So. Out of stock. They're out of stock because I stopped making them. And I don't think they're making a Gen 2. It's a really cool machine. I really wish it worked better. It just kind of... It was definitely a first generation product that I don't think they had the funds or the time to develop into a Gen 2 that solved a lot of the downsides. I give them all the credit in the world for trying something different. And I think that if you knew you were buying a machine that needed some tinkering, it's not a bad machine. It is, you know, it's 300 by 400 by 300 print volume. It's enclosed. It moves really fast. It's got a really nice hot end, a really nice extruder. It is a decent machine, but it's a finicky machine. And I think The problem is a NEMA 17 with a GT2 belt and some bearings does this but better and a lot easier. The linear motors had a problem where they had to move fast, otherwise you got weird artifacting in the print. Like certain speeds and feeds, you got weird artifacting in the prints. So, does the Pantheon have VFAs? Do I have any prints off the Pantheon back here? I don't think I do. I don't know why people are so, like, concerned about VFAs, by the way. I don't care. I don't know. Like, it's never, I don't know. This was printed on it. There you go. That's some carbon fiber PET G printed on the Pantheon. If your printer is printing so good that you are seeing minute imperfections in surface quality due to VFAs, that means every other thing that would... VFAs have always been there in 3D printing. It's just printers have sucked and have been built so shoddily that other issues hid them. And now printers are built so good, we're seeing that last little artifact of the fact that we're using shitty cheap belts with shitty cheap bearings and a shitty steel frame or injection molded frame with shitty NEMA 17s driven by the shittiest, cheapest electronics. And it's like, now that the printers we have literally pushed the absolute budget CNC machines that we call 3D printers to the best quality we can get out of them. Now that last little imperfection is finally visible and people are freaking out. I don't print anything where VFAs matter. I don't know about you. I don't print anything where VFAs matter. I am not printing stuff where VFAs matter in my workflow. I'm printing printer parts. Does VFAs on a motor mount matter? No. Does VFAs on a thing that I'm going to cover in Bondo and 18 layers of paint matter? No. I don't know. It tweaks me when I see people like freaking out over the most minute imperfection on their budget CNC machine that splooges molten plastic. You're going to have more issues with like layer adhesion. Like I'm more concerned about layer adhesion and dimensional accuracy than a slight ripple in the surface finish of a print. So, I don't know. I really don't care. You know what you do? Print in carbon fiber filled filament and move on with your life. There you go. Print in CF filament or marble filament and just move on with your life. The A4T. I like honestly, now that I have the A4T in the big one, and I'm going to be putting A4Ts in the stealth changer, I really like the A4T tool head. It is a little annoying that you need that 2510 fan, and it's got to be a good 2510 fan because a lot of the shitty ones are crappy, or the cheap ones are crappy. But I'll be honest, the A4T is a really nice tool head, and it's shit simple. It's like 4 parts, and it's very easy to swap out like extruders on it. It's a very nice tool head. I really like the A4T. It's a little on the fat side, but that's okay. Sometimes it's okay to be a little thick. Yeah, Taylor, just think slight variations in layer placement will give you better layer adhesion. Exactly. It's like bricks, right? And for, yeah, like everything that's printed on the big printer is either going to be a big dumb thing. Like I want to do some furniture. I want to try printing some furniture and some tables and whatnot on the big printer once I get a big nozzle. Like I have a 0.8. I need to find, I think I have like a 1. I wish I knew where my 1.8 millimeter CHT went. I wish I knew where it went. I have it somewhere, but I don't know where it went. Because I want to put that in there and print some vase mode stuff to make some furniture out of. Because I have some fun ideas for some videos to do like 3D printed themed furniture. Now that I have a big machine that I can do that stuff on. But it's like, if you're printing big stuff with a big fat layer, you kind of want this, you want the imperfections of a 3D print. You want to see the layer lines. Like, I don't know about you, I love the aesthetic of layer lines on raw prints. What is the difference between VFAs and a core one to a Delta? I don't know. Basically, there are very minute imperfections in the way a motion system works, okay? A 3D printer, because we're using NEMA 17s that move at like 200 steps, and then we're micro stepping it, and then we have belts and gears and pulleys and rods and bearings, and essentially a perfectly smooth motion is not a perfectly smooth motion. There are minor variations in acceleration and deceleration and smooth motion, okay, in a 3D print. You're also having, your extruder has teeth on it that bite the filament, that now have modified the filament. So flow, there are so many variables that stack up in the, by the time that filament exits the nozzle. There are so many variables that have stacked up that you are not going to get a perfectly buttery smooth finish, okay? Especially when you're changing directions and your flow rates are changing. You're going to have, it's called tolerance stacking. Anyone who's ever taken a metrology class knows what tolerance stacking is. And eventually you're just going to get a point where, you know, the fact that, you know, it's not 200, it's 1.99999, and then the next one it's 200.0001, and you're just going to get that ever so slight, and then, you know, oh hey, at a certain speed the machine vibrates ever so slightly because of harmonics, and like there are so many variables in 3D printing. I personally do not concern myself with the minutia because you know, I'd rather go play Baldur's Gate again, okay? Like I'd rather have fun with my print and post-process it or something. Like, I don't care. Like, I got the TISM, but my TISM isn't that bad. Like, I don't know. Diminishing returns. Yeah, diminishing returns is a very good point. Printers have gotten so much better than when I got into 3D printing that we're nitpicking. We're like, there's, go back and like judge, go look at like, go on Thingiverse and go pull up old prints, okay? Like here, watch. We're gonna Thingiverse. Go pull up prints that were popular years ago. Okay. So, you know, Baby Groot. How old is the Baby Groot print that we all print? Okay, how old is that thing? Okay. So here's the Baby Groot print, 2017. Okay. Can I make this bigger? Oh my God! Look, we got some imperfections there. Oh look, we got, okay. So we have a look at this. We got, oh shit, is that a layer shift? We got a layer shift there. We got a layer shift there. Layer shift there. We got a repeated issue. So we got some Z wobble there. Like, but look what this was printed on. Look what this was printed on. Go look at the makes. See what other people were printing. You know, can we sort by oldest or newest? When is this? This is 2025, so this is new. But I mean, like, go look at what prints looked like 5 years ago. We have gone way beyond that. And basically all that stuff that caused crappy prints, guess what? VFAs were still around back then. They were just hidden by the fact that your extruder was garbo, your filament varied by 0.1 millimeter every freaking 5 feet, and your Z wobbled like a hula dancer, and you had a layer shift every 5 minutes because, you know, it just did. Like, as decided that VFAs are a huge issue now, so it's all you hear about. I know. I swear they're like, also, no offense, bots are actively used in our community, and pretty much every single community now is flooded with bots that will just, somebody sets them up to just, every time somebody complain, like post something from a company, just antagonize. Like it is so prevalent right now, it is ridiculous. Like LLM powered bots flood. Like you check out every time like a big YouTuber does a video on like a printer, like a Bambu or a Prusa, check the comments. You will see botted comments quite often. I get them. I delete them. Like they come in waves. I delete them and I block the accounts as soon as I see them. But I've gotten them before. Where like all of a sudden on like a video I do on Prusa, I have like 8 comments in a row within like 20 minutes of each other, all saying how they regret purchasing their Prusa and they were glad they purchased either a Bambu, a Creality, or an Anycubic printer. All within like 20 minutes. They were all very, the wording was different, but they all regretted their Prusa purchases and they wish they had saved the money and purchased another brand. Yeah. Oh yeah. That shit happens. So VFA issues are the same as deciding all printing issues caused by wet filament. Although, to be fair, that is actually a very common issue. What are we at right now? We got 10 minutes left on the stream. If you haven't entered for your chance to win some Polymaker filament, do so now, because you got 10 minutes. I'm going to go get the print off the print bed of the big printer. Big printer. Hot. Oh, wow, this is... There we go. So this is Fiberon PET CF17. I had a 500 gram spool of it. I don't know why I used the expensive... Oh, I did it because the other part of this is PET CF, and I wanted a somewhat matching finish. I didn't want to do like a smooth part. All the big body parts on the Astromech are going to be either PET or PETG CF filament. I ordered 2 more spools of PETG CF. The RCF08 stuff is really nice. The low carbon fiber filament from Polymaker right now is like my favorite filament, no offense. It prints beautifully on open frame machines, and it's nice and stiff, and it's nice. I like it. Obviously, you're not going to have the temperature resistance of an ABS or an ASA. It is what it is. But for like, I did, when the T45 Power Armor helmet that I have, I printed that in CF PETG, and that really turned me on to using CF PETG for props and cosplay stuff. So yeah, this stuff doesn't bridge as good, but that's, you're not going to see that anyways. So how do you enter for the draw? Read the pinned comment. You enter in the video description. Yeah, I think I got to play around with the pressure advance. I got to retune my pressure advance. I think I'm running either too high or too low for pressure advance. That also might be it. I think I might be running too low for pressure advance. Because it like, my pressure advance setting was like 0.4 or something, 0.46 or something. And then, or like 0.38 or something. It was like around 0.4. And then I redid it with the CF PETG and it's like 0.2. And I'm like 0.2 pressure advance with a 0.6 nozzle on direct feed. I'm like, that seems a little low, but I went with it. But I should probably redo that test and see what it says. Do that after I get this set up. I'll do the tower, the PA tower instead of the lines, because it might be a flow issue too. Yep. Okay, I'm gonna have to make that fit. There we go. Behold, the rear door panel of a Astromech droid. So I think it goes this way. I got to get some magnets because magnets hold it in, but behold, rear door of an astromech. And then I have coin slots. Where are the coin slots? There's a coin slot. Yeah. Is that the right coin slot? No, that's a different. Yeah. So we got some coin slots. Those go like down here. They're actually, these parts are called coin slots, apparently. That's what the part is on the R2. So there we go. That's my shield. There we go. Droid door. Yep. This is the rear access panel, so you can get at all the electronics. It's held in with magnets. So. And does it fit? That is the question. Oh, it does fit. It does fit real good. Nice. Sweet. Okay, let me clear off the bed on that printer, and then I'm going to redo the PA, because I think I got to redo pressure advance. Figure out what the pressure advance value is on this machine. Where is my spatula? Oh, here it is. Need my spatula. Oh man, this is... Okay, PET sticks to the bed. Let that cool. Okay, I gotta let that cool. I gotta let that cool. That is a little welded to the bed. I need to get more flex plates for that machine. Oh. Hey, print's done. Okay, let me just hit it quickly with the heat gun. Get rid of the stringies. There we go. So yeah, it is a little on the stringy side. But not too shabby. Unfortunately, when I flipped the printer upside down while it was printing, we did have a layer shift. You can see the layer shift right down there at the bottom. It's right there, you can see it. But otherwise, that ain't bad. So it's just a little on the stringy side. So it's going to take a bit to figure out the retraction settings that make it happy for speeds and feeds. Because like on the retraction test, it looked fine, but it could be the Z-hop causing it to do it. But it is a little on the fuzzy side. But 2 seconds with a heat gun, deal with most of that. But not too bad. Yeah, the VFAs are horrible. No, overhangs are real clean. Like, other than, you know, it being a bit fuzzy. Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. There we go. Behold. Dwygan. Have I dried the filament? No. No, God no. This filament's like a year old. It probably is actually wet. It's a nice green. It is Canadian Filaments. Canadian Filaments, proudly made in Canada. Spruce Tree Green. Personally, I'm a fan of Soylent Green, but to each their own. Yeah, there. They've sent me some of their filament in the past. They sent me a sampler pack just to try out. They have a pumpkin spice filament. That's what they're kind of known for. I don't order from them, unfortunately. It's good that Polymaker is very generous in supporting the channel, and they hook me up with filaments when I need it. But on the downside of that, I don't really go and buy filament much anymore, so I don't really try out some of this stuff. So. If I laid the filament on, or if I laid the printer on its side, it'd be HFAs. So vertical, oh, horizontal film. What is the V? What is the F? Vertical, is it fine artifacts? Vertical fine artifacts? VFA. I don't know. YGK3D did a big old video on it. And I'm like, I got like halfway through the video and I'm like, I really don't care about VFAs that much. Like, I honestly, I have never looked at a print that had VFAs and went, shit, this is garbage. Like, it's never been anything where I'm like, I don't know, like, it could be better, but like, it's fine. Like, I don't know. Does the fact that this part right here have some, you know, have some ghosting and ringing to it matter? No. Now, to be fair, if I like sold my prints and like I was like, you know, if I ran an Etsy store selling prints and, you know, that was an issue, then yeah, I would care. But I don't. I print stuff on my printers that either are just functional mechanical parts, like every printer on this print. I have a layer shift in these parts. There is a layer shift in these orange vertical parts right here. It doesn't affect it, so I didn't care. But yeah. Can I get a hot take on whether or not benchmark or print quality layer stacking should be done with silk filaments? Silk filaments are kind of a... Silk filaments are for fun, aesthetically pleasing prints that sit on a desk and don't do anything. The problem is, to make a silk filament, you have to add, essentially, you have to mix it with like an additive, which is basically the stuff that makes flexi filaments flexi. So it's a blend filament that's very gummy. It oozes. It gums up. Silk filaments are... I would never print anything structural out of a silk filament. Silk filaments are for artsy shit. That's it. TPU, yeah, TPU. Silk filaments are for cool vase mode prints and aesthetically pleasing art pieces, but they should not be used to judge printers printing in any way. They are their own thing. Yeah, it'd be like, I'm gonna tune retractions on my printer that I'm gonna use for all PLA using like, you know, yeah, you don't use that. It's its own thing. There's a reason I went and found this spool of filament in my basement for tuning retractions, because, you know, galaxy filaments, filled filaments, silk filaments, they all have additives that change the material properties. They're yeah. I use silk filament for pushing jams out of my reverse Bowden tubes. Voron Trident with MMU like Box Turtle. Do you know any good purging solution with the Trident without losing printer volume? Are you talking, so you want like a poop bucket thing? Not really. Because the problem is, Vorons are designed with a square bed, and a Voron is designed with an inch bed. Okay, for those that don't know, Vorons are designed with an inch bed. 10, 12, 14-inch beds. Now, when you convert that to metric, there's a little bit extra millimeters, and there is a little bit extra because we haven't changed the frame size since like the original days of the V2. So I think we changed the frame size for the Trident from the V8, or the V1.8 to Trident, the frame got taller, I think. But anyways, Vorons are designed to be very space efficient, which means by default, they don't have like a lot of extra room around them, okay? The downside of that is there's not a lot of room to shove a poop bucket in or something. So you either have to like move the bed out of the way and basically lose a bunch of Y or a bunch of X, or have an oddball size frame. Like there's a little bit of room. I think there are some designs out there for like purge buckets and whatnot for the Trident and the V2, but they're very thin. Like, I don't think you're going to find like a poop chute type setup. There's the King seat, I think it's called. I'm trying to remember what the ERCFA was working on, but there's like things that use servos that pop out that you poop in and it flips it away. There's a couple different things. Just move the nozzle off for it and just purge next to the bed and just use the bed to wipe it off. Oh, shoot, the bed turned off. How hot was this getting? Let me turn the heater back up. Let me, shoot. Hopefully is this to try it? Okay, here we go. So, with the bed sitting at 105, we're looking at a chamber temp of about 62? 62, roughly. About 62. Okay, I'm going to use this chance. Turn that off. I'm going to pull the magnet off this right now. Pull the magnet off this because we got to do the giveaway. Flex plate off. I don't think that magnet was holding on too well. Like, that adhesive was gone. It's not even sticky. Oh, because the adhesive stayed on the bed. The adhesive stayed on the bed. Garbage. Yeah, that came right off. That came right off. So I think is this bed kinematic? A little in the back. Okay. So I'm gonna have to hopefully. I'm gonna have to do some playing around with this, unfortunately. Yeah, we're going to do the draw in a second. Let me just grab something. Where'd I put my stupid Allen keys? I don't know where I put my Allen keys. Allen keys. Oh my God, this. Okay, got that off. Oh, this is starting to come. Okay. Okay, so let me... Okay, so the PET comes off once you get it going. Okay, I'll do that tomorrow. Where did my Allen keys go? Oh man, I could smell the magnet. I could smell the off-gassing from the magnet right now. Or from the adhesive, I could laser. I could smell it. I just had a whole bunch. Where did I put them? I had my Allen keys right here. Did I put them in here? No. I'm just gonna screw it. I'm just gonna buy a whole new set of Allen keys. I think this broke too. Yeah. That broke. These came with fancy like Delrin screws, and I think they all broke. Yeah, this one broke. They got fancy like Delrin screws, and they're all like cracked too. Okay, let's do this giveaway. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get some goo on. I'm gonna go out tomorrow. Okay, let's do this giveaway. We'll end the stream, and we will call it there. Link to sheet. If you did not enter, you'll have another chance on the Tuesday stream, which now we know we're back to working on the Seaboard Trident. We got to replace the magnet on that guy. So. Save that. Nice discrete magnet beds. Ooh. Yeah, discrete magnet beds are nice. They are nice. Like, it's honestly, I kind of wish Prusa sold their bed standalone. Like, it would be kind of nice if you could just buy the Prusa bed. Pre-made with the magnet on it and everything. That would be nice. 265 people, bots. Good to 240? What? The Prusa bed's not good to 240. I know you make crazy beds though, but... Okay, so how this works is if you win, you get a free hat. No, sorry. If you win, you get a free spool of polymaker filament. But if I pick your ball and you win, you get a free hat. This ball right here is looking low. You look lonely. B-Dog. If you win, you get a free hat. Good luck. Remember, exclamation mark zoom zoom makes your ball go faster. Exclamation mark gullible makes everyone else go slower. And if you like the smash button, ring the bell, and are subscribed to the channel, it actually greases your ball up and makes it go even faster. And if you happen to gift subs to somebody else, or give some subs to those in chat, or memberships, because this is YouTube, not Twitch, memberships. I'm not going to say it's going to help your odds, but, you know, the universe works in mysterious ways. Glad Prusa's catching up to the rest. As far as I'm aware, Prusa's like the only company doing a hobbyist level commercial machine with embedded magnets like this. Everyone else uses like sticker magnets and like PCB beds, or, you know, in Bambu's case, a hot plate. It's like, is this a Factorio map? This is a freaking Factorio map. IG-80. Is that like a Star Wars droid? IG-80. That sounds like a Star Wars droid. Cheaty might have it. Do they? I don't know. I haven't looked at a Cheaty machine in a while. I kind of... This year, I did not take as many commercial machines as I was offered. Because I'll be honest, when a company reaches out and they're like, do you want to take a look at our enclosed Core XY machine that's 250 millimeters cubed, and we may have an AMS option down the line? I don't really get too excited anymore. It's like, unless you're doing something either really cool or I know it's going to be a popular machine, I've turned down quite a few lately. Because I don't have the room. Oh, that's it. Palms! Packaging. Was this a giant Factorio map? Palms with the wind. Ooh, that does sound tasty. That does sound tasty. Okay, so congratulations, Palms. F4. There we go. Should I close marbles by doing a crash cut Alt F4? Probably not, but I do it all the time. Okay, let's fill out the form here. Being the poverty, higher temp option for me. See, what you do is you take your budget machine, okay? If you want to print like the Gucci high-end materials, here, I'll let you in a little secret. So what you do is you take your machine, okay? And just kind of put it over here. You close the door. And then all you do, you just get one of these little heat guns. And you just cut a hole in the side and you just shove it in there. And you turn it on. And that heats up the chamber. And off you go. Don't ever do that. Don't ever do that. If you're gonna put a heater in your printer, do it the right way. Like, it's gonna be nice now that Bigtech is working on basically a very plug and play chamber heater. That'll be nice when that comes out, because, you know, considering the fact some commercial machines have shipped with, you know, chamber heaters that you could, if you touch them the wrong way, you get electrocuted. It'll be nice that there'll be like a properly enclosed option for those that want it. So anyways, I can't remember who it was that won, but your email's on the way. Okay. Someone hacked the CFS data dryer. Well, a bunch of people have added the polymaker dryer. This thing. I've seen a bunch of people take this thing and like add it to printers. Like this is now just add this. There you go. It's got a chamber heater. I've seen a bunch of people do this. The only thing is it would be nice if you can control this without, you know, having to beep, beep, boop, boop. Like if you could just tie it into the printer. Actually, it probably wouldn't be that hard. Just a PWM, right? It's a heater. You can just PWM it, right? Just pull the control signal and plug it into a pinout. I'm sure it can be done. I'm sure somebody has done it. But I don't know if these are rated to run how, you know, if they are rated to run continuously. That would be the problem. It's loud as hell when it's running. Well, yeah, that too. That's why you just put your printers in a room you're not normally in. Okay, so we are going to call it there. Let me turn this printer off, actually. Off. There we go. So yeah, so... Oh, that's some fuzz. So I'm like, something was moving in my corner of my eye and I couldn't see what it was and I lost it in a reflection. It's like just a piece of fuzz. So we're going to call it there. Hope you enjoyed the stream tonight. Tuesday, we'll be faffing around with this guy and probably doing some other stuff. I'm hoping the panels come in so I can close the Adventure XL, because that's like the last thing I need to do on that printer. So when that comes in, we'll do that too. So hopefully Tuesday is new magnet on this and enclosing the Adventure XL. And then I actually do have to get off my butt and start printing stuff for the tube, or for the stealth changer. Because we have, the printer is like right on the floor. We got to get it ready too. So we'll work on that stuff. Shout out to Polymaker for the spool of Filament we gave away this stream and every stream. Links for all of them and more in the video description below. Affiliate links don't cost you anything factor, go a long way in supporting the channel. It is like Black Friday, Cyber Monday, whatever. A bunch of them have sales right now. Polymaker's got a big sale on right now. GamerSups has a big sale on right now. Use code Canuck, save some money at some places. Go buy a tube from Luke's Lab. Use code Canuck as well. And for those that donate to the channel, gifted memberships to others, or became members of the channel yourself, I thank you. I'll not be able to do the things I do, create the content I create without your continued support. You make it all possible. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Be safe out there. Wash your hands. You're going to have to plow your driveway in the morning, some of you. And I will see you in the future. Good night.